Welcome everybody back to Learned Mortality Day 4.
Big burger.
Burger.
Last time on Learned Mortality, Elisar made a shocking discovery. What will happen today?
Like everyone else made a shocking discovery about LSR.
This is very true.
I still don't even know what you guys learned. You never told me.
Your mortality?
Sorry.
Anyway,
I just had existential dread for a second there.
we open the morning of Day 4 in the Esotiller Antarctic Research Base Laboratory Beta, where a large portion of the staff has gathered.
You see that Elisar walked into the lab this morning with an ice pack against his head.
Oh,
Also, I'm going to put the kids' book for Millie back to Millie. I'm taking that off my inventory. I gave it to Millie.
okay, she has it.
-1
She has her book.
I would say that it's sitting like under the laptop currently as like a little laptop platform.
Oh, the thing. Rabbit on head keeps moving.
Are you taking the chair with you, Encore?
Yeah.
He's just scooting over.
He's saving his seat.
With every scooch, the buddy bounces just a little bit.
Encore opens his mouth and starts rummaging around like you would be rummaging like blindly into like a container.
I like to imagine that every time Encore's about to scoot, the bunny hops to where Encore's head will be after
That's
he's done
great.
scooting.
Oh my god, that's wonderful.
Can we replace the walking gif on the to be continued screen with that, please? Thank you.
Oh my god.
Encore on the chair.
The most ridiculous.
He's across the screen.
The exact same beat. Don't even just replace it, just add it in front.
That's so fucking good.
This is for you. He pulls out the manila envelope that's been strapped together and hands it to us. Merry
Amazing. I was actually beginning to wonder. Okay, Uncle.
I can still see you over your daughter.
Yeah.
You can keep talking.
No, I'm just. The scraping sounds a bit distracting. It's fine.
I love it.
Thanks. Oh, jeez.
He like kind of just places two fingers to his forehead.
I haven't been able to check up on the penguins or anything in all of this chaos. Hope they're doing alright.
Yeah, about that. When we were attacked and rescued by Murphy and Dr. Tiller over there, a large number of the Frostbitten that were attacking us were vaguely penguin-shaped. Exactly, they were penguins.
One disemboweled me.
Okay.
As you can see by this penguin-shaped scar that is
Well, then I'm gonna have to track them down. If those are the same penguins, they would still have trackers on them.
That also leads to a current theory I've been having. Bliss, have you ever seen any marine mammal come from the lake inland? Because we found a seal about 1 kilometer from the lake.
A seal? What type of seal?
Leopard.
It was a leopard seal.
That's weird. Considering Macaroni Island's almost like a little haven for the guys because their natural-born predators don't exactly frequent the lake. There are seals in the area, but there's not many. And 1 kilometer out from the lake? That's weird. Did you notice anything else strange about it?
It was obviously highly aggressive because we were trying to save it and we are
It was injured.
Yeah, it was injured, you're right.
It was injured.
So it may have either been fleeing the lake, but I also have a side theory. I think it was being drawn inland.
Oh.
What, like Murphy?
Yes and no. Like, for example, like
Some sort of call to the void.
Exactly, actually. We've noticed that there's some sort of magnetic or electromagnetic pulse going on with the Frostbitten that we encountered last night. And we theorized, I think with what you were telling us, Elisar, that there was some kind of drawn inland towards the South Pole?
Yes, there's even now, upon Our captive friend here, House of Dreams, there's a very slight marginal force being applied, a magnetic force that seems to be drawing them towards the South Pole. Yes.
Which does
Something
beg the
that-
question. Yes?
Oh, I just wanted to point out, you said it was wounded, right?
Yes, I think that also may be a factor in this.
She, kind of taps away a little bit. I have some security footage of Frostbitten attacking wildlife from one of the earlier attacks on the base.
Mhm.
We're not entirely sure why, but we just assumed they attacked anything living. But you said there was no Frostbitten around this seal?
Not currently, although another thing I want to bring up soon is about the daytime thing with the Frostbitten, but no, for the seal that we've designated the moniker John Lennon, there hadn't been anything wrong about it. Another weird thing about it is that once we brought it back to the lake, it went in no problem. Either it was afraid of us or somehow the signal got interrupted by us interfering. Almost like breaking it out of a trance, maybe.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for more animals and see if they're following a similar pattern. Maybe we could see why.
I've also sort of considered seeing if there's any cameras that we can place out there. Because I've noticed that, like,
Oh, if surveillance is what you want to do, I can get you hooked up. It might take a little bit, but I can do that sort of thing.
yes, my big concern is other $5 stakes out there consuming the cameras, but if we can figure out a way to, like, turn them on when, like, there's motion or something.
$5 stake is attracted towards the largest source of electricity.
And if it's the only one out there,
Why not
that's my
make...
concern.
I was going to say, why not make a separate bait, if you will? Something to signal us in that it has been attacked.
True.
You could set snares similar to the circuit board that we used to capture this one here. We can bait it with a large source of energy and then see if there's a way that once we draw it in, we could capture it somehow. Keep it from
Well, that's
destroying
easy.
any of our electronics.
Just the generator from the marine lab.
Oh, yes,
Still
there's power
works.
back at the main lab, by the way.
Yeah, that actually raises a question I had. So, you said the power was out up there?
It froze over.
Encore scoots up.
Huh.
Yeah, there was something inside the thing lodging it. I got it out. Skirt, 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 skirt.
What was in it, Encore?
Yeah, it was like this big. He exaggerates with his arms about how big it was, like you're measuring a fish. But I got it out lickety split, and I got the thing going. So yeah, there's power there. Skirt, 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 skirt.
A large piece of stone, you say?
Yeah, it was lodged in there, and then I was able to remove it, and then I have it. I sealed the hole I punched in it with it.
Blizz just furrows his brow at the punched a hole in it bit.
I'm very proud of myself. I'm a very good handyman.
So this begs the question. We've seen a lot within the last 3 days. I feel like there's a lot of things we need to get straight, and we need to all be on the same page about, no?
Agreed.
I agree.
First things first, the attacks that we've witnessed. On the first night, we've encountered $5 stake. On the second night, the first contact with the good doctor, and now, last night, contact was made again, no? It's as if his visits are getting more frequent, more focused.
Perhaps we're just striking up his interest.
Yes, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like hasn't this been the first time that we've been able to open communications with the good doctor?
Yes. On the not last night, but the previous nights, I was able to have a small communication by writing on the window. I don't think anybody's cleaned it off yet, so there is still a record of what was said.
Do you think we could write all of that down? I would like to have a transcript, just so we can see if it lines up with anything else.
Yeah, that could be done. I was very curious what the doctor said. mentioned this not being a military base, implying the knowledge of a military base.
That's weird, considering there's no military bases in the Antarctic. There's no government in the Antarctic. It's not a nation. There'd be nothing to defend.
In fact, military bases are strictly prohibited by international treaty.
It's almost like people don't want fights breaking out down here. Not that that's
Not to
stopped
sound like,
people before, but...
Not to sound like a conspiracy theorist over here, but that would mean that if there was one out here, there wouldn't be any documentation of it. Or at least not accessible to us.
Elisar raises a valid point. What's to say we need to trust the government?
I believe we're in the Mexico portion of this, right?
Correct. This base, before it came under me and Bliss's name, was under the protection of a group called the United Laboratories in Mexico. I used to work for them, in fact. Still do, technically.
Curious. It's something that's been bothering me. There's been a few things that have been bothering me that have happened the past few days.
Oh, let's hear about them.
Well, for one, I'm still stuck on the thing that happened the first night when we first got here. There was a break in the window up towards the radio room, inside the radio room.
Yes. It seemed like everything had gotten disorganized, like someone had gone through a bunch of the papers that we kept in there.
But the entrance was small. It was a small break in the window, if I remember correctly. Almost as if something had to slip through.
Mm-hmm.
My theory is that I don't think it was a house of dreams as those would keep around its muse. I think it was something completely separate.
Well, I know it wasn't the good doctor. Because I was stuck in a trance of some sort at that point. When that was discovered.
Which also begs to differ that I don't think the good doctor was any sort of distraction. I think it may have just been another party.
You think he just happened to come over here and was like, oh, interesting, what's going on here? And took a closer look?
Implying there's like 2-3 separate parties involved in the Frostbitten.
That's also been my other theory from what happened last night, is...
Maybe we shouldn't even classify the good doctor as a frostbitten. Maybe he's something else.
That might be the case.
Something's telling me that there's definitely either two separate entities, or there's two separate, factions going on here. I'm going on the entity part because I still think that the Frostbitten are controlled by some sort of alpha. But given what happened to that wolf last night after the break in the electromagnetic spectrum that we did with the EMP, we'll get to that later, LSR. I'll say it molted. It became something new. It started to be... It was red. It was just blood red instead of the ice. Almost like it's been freed.
In chemistry, usually a change in color signifies some sort of change in composition.
Well, if you eggheads want to, we can experiment with that wolf we captured in the pit, unless that thing's shattered.
That's a good point. Is it still there?
That also raises a question. I would also like to see if it's out there.
Another thing is, as we also saw last night when the good doctor approached the base, and when you went out to confront him, Lucy, we saw the same molted frostbitten standing aside him.
Yes. Those weren't there the previous time that the good doctor has interacted with us.
No, they weren't. There were two of them, right? My mind's not playing tricks on me?
There were definitely two of them.
And you only witnessed one undergo this sort of evolution.
This is true. It was at the hangar, after the EMP.
Which means that the second one had to have come from somewhere else.
Yes, that's what I was getting at. Whatever this conversion was, it's not the first time that Frostbitten has undergone this sort of transformation.
If I may pose an idea, there's this theory of there being two forces. Millie just, hops up from the ground where she was sitting cross-legged and comes over here. Why don't we start recording Okay, this is an idea. Like, you know how winds go in different directions? Up, above, and it's a really complicated map, but you can use them to kind of predict what they're gonna do?
Oh, like the jet stream?
Yeah.
Yes.
What if we kept track of all of the places we've seen Frostbitten, and also all of the directions that they're going? And maybe include the seals in there. Maybe that would give us a better picture?
Perhaps, because we did see a group of Frostbitten and a large gyroscopic entity move through King's Pass before.
That's very true, and we haven't seen that one yet since...
Right.
That was also the biggest frostbitten we've seen.
I'm gonna be honest, it
period,
didn't
so
really
probably
look like a
about the same.
frostbitten to me. Looked more like a machine.
Agreed. Almost stands than the Frostbitten themselves, almost like it was some sort of like adjacent entity. Because it was being escorted. It didn't have ice on it, I don't believe, if I remember correctly.
Why would the Frostbitten escort something? It would need protection, no?
It would be protection or something that's been kind of bothering me about its design that I saw in the dark. It almost felt like a containment thing? Whether it was transporting something or whether it was the thing keeping all the Frostbitten in line. Because it was weirdly uniform.
Okay, so if it was... let's theorize and say it was carrying something, right?
Yes.
And the Frostbitten were escorting it.
Mhm.
If not us, who did they expect to get attacked by?
Perhaps the good doctor?
That circles back around to the idea that the separation that we've seen between the red and the blue frostbitten, that there's, again, two factions here.
Maybe we accidentally stumbled upon a little bit of like a natural war going on, and we're just in the middle.
Yes, the question is, a war between who?
Something has... I have a theory,
So
given
Shane,
what happened. I said,
so I'm just trying to wrap my head around that, for lack of better terms, that we have a war between frozen Yankees and Redcoats in the middle of the Antarctic.
that's a way to think about it, because what I've been pondering is because of the inherent freeing nature, because when we had the EMP happen, we saw sparks coming from the wild things that transform.
True.
Something's telling me it's kind of like a nature-nurture thing, where there's, like, naturally it's in its red states, but has been confined in this icicle thing controlled by another.
That would explain why the machinery was more towards the conglomerate we saw rather than the good doctor.
That also begs another question. I don't know if this is just because of the nature of House of Dreams, but the House of Dreams were, for a good term, shattered, evaporated when the EMP went off.
Well, they released all their charge.
Exactly. But the wolf molted.
It could suggest there's a different chemical composition of the ice around both of them.
Perhaps.
It could also simply suggest that the birds were predisposed to detonate, and you just simply set off their inner mechanism.
That implies that they were created.
We've seen them be born from. He kind of fumbles at a wound on his face that from the previous night.
Yeah.
I think suggesting that they weren't created is more absurd at this point.
Exactly. They come from blood.
But by who and why is a much more difficult question.
A question which I feel that we'll need more guidance from the good doctor to get a lead on. Here's some more food of thought for you all regarding the whole blue and red frostbitten situation. When there's, we already know the House of Dreams has a relation to the geomagnetic field of the Earth. And when it comes to magnetics, blue and red are usually signifiers for when something has a positive or a negative polarity.
That's a good point.
We've already seen the blue house of dreams that we have in confinement here has a positive polarity as it's being drawn towards the south pole of the Earth. Perhaps I had hypothesized that if we got our hands on one of the red frostbitten, that we'd find the opposite. Rather, it would have forces being enacted upon it, drawing it towards the north pole. Maybe what we saw here was after the EMP had been activated. We saw the charge of the frostbitten neutralized for a moment, and in that moment, maybe, just maybe, the good doctor used it as an opportunity to reverse the polarity from what it once was.
The question remains, though, to what end?
We've witnessed them operating like troops in a war. If you wish to win a war, you're going to want more troops.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I meant in the grander sense.
In the grander sense, we still have no idea.
Wars aren't fought for no reason.
Elazar, I think I catch your meaning here. You're suggesting the good doctor lacks troops?
Yes, I think so.
I think we should be very, very careful before we just go helping him then.
I agree. Before we choose who we want to help, or if we just save our own skin and look for the next chance to get out of here, we should first identify some sort of motivation.
If I may, Doctor, I think it's possible that one of the places we could look, as much as I don't want to suggest it for the safety of everyone, is maybe the island up north? If there's someone there that knows something. Like, we haven't ruled that out, right?
There is a distress signal still coming from there.
And it seems like somebody aside from the good doctor who was trying to warn us that it was a trap.
If I remember correctly, it was a plead for help.
Alright, okay. Just a little bit of basic logic here.
Yes.
If it was a trap and we sprung said trap, why would the bait still be going? We're not stupid enough to fall into the same trap twice.
Is the bait still going? I don't remember if we double checked that it was still
I
transmitting.
remember Encore took the batteries from there, so it's still transmitting. It's just
It could be just simple as pull out a radio, Seiko. You got a radio?
The radio I used for the EMP, but give me some parts and maybe like an hour or two and I could have another radio operational.
Like, go just turn the radio in the radio room to that setting. It won't be that hard.
Also, if there's any spare parts up there, you can grab them for yourself. Feel free to
Alright.
repair your radio with it. Well, that stops free game.
I'll go get that started now then.
Is there a chance that you can bring it back in here so that we can still discuss things while you get it all set up?
Yeah, sure.
While she does that, I wanted to point out another detail about the transmission that we received. Is mention of another factor, potentially a code word for whoever this third unknown mysterious party is. There's mention of the butterfly.
go on.
Fucking butterfly.
The butterfly.
Yes, the butterfly. The good doctor commands their moves. He will show you the way. The butterfly is not what they seem. No one survived. Don't believe their lies.
It's frustrating that there's an assumed knowledge here that we're lacking. No one survived in what context?
The Titanic?
I mean, we know that.
Or it could be referring to the previously mentioned military base that we may not know of yet. Because the doctor did say this is not a military base, implying that there was one previously encountered. I still think there might be something here. Almost like a
ominous
secret.
implication is that all of you have been replaced, but
We've been replaced? Oh,
I point at Bliss, Millie, and Tiller. They didn't survive. They didn't have this whole
Just
place is
raises
overrun
his
before we
eyebrow.
got here. I said it was the most ominous, not the most likely.
It's ominous and very unlikely, but thank you, Larry.
Yeah, if we were replaced, we'd remember that.
Not necessarily true.
looks at Elisa.
Oh, fuck! I actually spat on my drink in that one!
Lucy looks at Elisar, remembering last night and the things that happened. She's like, aha.
Oh.
Lucy quietly sips his coffee.
Anyway,
Just
that
looking.
theory aside, why don't we work off of this military base assumption? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So assuming someone wanted to set up a military base illegally in the Antarctic, where would I do it?
Probably further
Underground.
south.
Underground? Yeah, I hate that that's where I
Yep.
immediately went to.
Yeah, underground. That actually makes a
You'd be
lot of
Well,
safe.
they have
You
a
wouldn't be
point.
showing up in any satellite images. Safe from the blizzards.
How much equipment did they bring for building the underground trains?
Quite a lot. It was a big ordeal.
Now hold on a second. Let's not go implicating any corporations that we might be working on here, setting up a secret underground military bunker. That's ridiculous.
We're
I
not
don't
accusing
want
it,
to-
Elisar. We're hypothesizing.
I'm not accusing it, I'm stating
Okay,
a
that's
option.
fair. That's fair.
It is the easiest option to check.
Also, Elisar, there's precedent from, I don't want to bring up bad memories, but during the apocalypse, it was a surprise attack.
You are right.
If there's ever a time in the history of humanity to be suspicious of corporations, I'd say we're in it.
Yeah.
I've seen no bad blood from United, nor have I from the late echelon Hexaflick. I trust their choices very wisely, but that does not mean that there was not somewhere a bad egg. All it takes is one person to do something crazy.
Person in a high enough location can order troops to move.
If we ever get communications, though, it would be good to contact both Star Road and United about this.
Yes.
See if there's anything we can do.
Perhaps if I want to seek more answers about this side of the whole ordeal, perhaps I need to pick up in the footsteps of Hexaflick once more.
I don't mean to scare anyone, but if there is really a secret military base going on, calling United is the last thing we should do. Same with Star Road for that matter. I don't know if we can trust them. They sent us you, but... I'm sorry, maybe that's stupid, I don't know.
It might be beneficial to request supplies, perhaps? Things we can use for weaponry and defenses?
We can always do it in a creative manner. We do not have to directly say, hey, did you break military code and create a secret base underground? We could be more like, could you send us the floor plan to the underground tunnels so that we can take a closer look? That
Or
sort of thing.
request Star Road to look into the amount of supplies bought for its construction.
Yes, a good idea as well.
Oh, I grabbed some parts, by the way. It'll only take me a few minutes. But what about putting in a supply? What about putting in a supply request and perhaps getting some answers during that conversation? You know, it's just something something covert under the table. Hey, we can use some supplies. By the way, we've been seeing a lot of weird stuff. You know, something inconspicuous like that maybe might work.
I do actually have someone I can ask about that over in United.
We need to get communication up first.
And Larry, how are you on ammo?
I could use more. We're probably gonna need to at least print a lot more. Hopefully that 3D printer works for printing ammo.
I can check to see how much resin's left in it.
I got you a proper 3D model set up, Larry. It should work. It's just we don't have very much resources left to print with, so...
Do we
Looking
have
at the
requests?
3D printer, does it seem like the filament's pretty dry?
You've used about, I'd say 3/4 of it.
Okay.
You printed a tarp earlier.
The other 1/8 was soup. Yes, it's a good idea to reach out the first chance we do.
Well, to do that, we're going to have to get the comms tower back up, and to do that, we're going to have to secure the marine labs, which seems a little harder than previously assumed.
Yeah, it's...
Why do we have to secure the submarine lab for the comms tower?
Because that's where the comms tower needs to go in order to actually reach back to the main continent. I mean, we could try and set one up here. It's just this is not an ideal spot for it. With the blizzard, it would be pretty shoddy. Yeah.
And yes, the blizzard was a little bit better, at least yesterday up there.
Listen, I'm no good at fighting or science or any of that, but I can build a radio. If you get me to that comms tower and keep the Frostbitten off of me long enough, I can get it working, and we can get supplies then. If any of you are crazy enough to attempt such a thing.
We could try in the brief hours of daylight that we're afforded to go out to the marine lab and start setting things up ahead of time. And maybe on a good day, when the weather's right for it, then we can go out and try to establish communications.
I agree with that.
Something else to consider. This is a crazy thought, but it's something we could do. We could try and send up a satellite.
How the hell are we gonna get a satellite into orbit?
That's a good
There's a little bit
question.
of rocket
And
science, my friend.
I'm not talking getting it into orbit. I'm talking a one-time blast signal for help.
So maybe less of a rocket, more of a weather balloon type of situation.
Yeah. Shoot something up there, blast a long signal out, and hope someone hears.
That should be doable if you can get supplies for some kind of. Do you have any
Yes.
weather balloons lying around?
I don't have weather balloons, but I've got the parts to build a rocket. A small
They
one.
could figure something
Alright.
out. This is absolutely a solution for if we would rather just have the supplies rather than trying to worm some answers out of our contractors.
I could build a transmitter, then one of you could probably build a trigger so that once it reaches a certain altitude, it'll start screaming its little head off.
Okay. Well, how about we do both? We send up the rocket early. If no one hears the rocket, eventually we'll have the tower up.
Yes.
It's better to do more than one, just in case.
I
We
agree.
also don't know if there's any airborne
yeah,
frostbitten that make it
that's fair.
curious.
They might just hit it. I don't know if they have anti-air. I hope they don't have anti-air.
That would be
They
even
at least
more
have
concerning.
air. They at
Considering
least have air.
They know
have
what a
it.
military base is. Maybe they have missiles. I don't know.
Considering that those penguins had some sort of rudimentary projectile weapon of some kind, it's logical to assume that they might have some answer for airborne targets.
I mean, there is that one that we encountered, the...
I was about to say,
turkey.
yes, I think they have an answer. I think it's on the island up north.
Yes, so if anything, we should maybe shoot it a little bit away from Macaroni Island. Maybe into the jet stream.
Launch it into the jet stream. I can place some of my runes on it, and we could try and use those to propel it even further.
Ooh, I want to launch it too.
What's your
I
thoughts,
had-
Seiko?
I have a thought. If there is, in fact, something on Macaroni Island that serves as some sort of AA battery, even if we call for help, that needs to be destroyed, or help isn't gonna reach us, it's gonna reach the seafloor.
A very valid point. We do not want any planes getting shot down on our behalf.
I recommend we form two teams, an engineering team that'll handle the rocket and the communications, and a combat team to make their way to the island and neutralize any and all targets.
I feel like there's a better way from that because I'm not going to lie looking you up and down. we got fucked.
Yes.
We got
You
fucked
didn't know
really
what to
bad.
expect.
We
It
did.
was,
To be fair, you fell into a trap.
yes, to put it in terms that Seiko might be familiar with, I don't think it was a skill issue.
I appreciate that, Elisar. Listen,
I think
trap
it was
or
more
not,
of a info.
Two, maybe three total combatants in
issue.
this entire location. On this entire fucking continent.
listen,
Just
We can't
because,
split.
counterpoint, I think that trying to attack the island is a good idea. But doing so blindly and rushing and splitting our forces is not. I believe if we set up a proper organization to counter their abilities, we would be much more better disposed at taking care of them, the penguins and the flying machine.
Oh, yes,
I
that also
agree.
brings up something. They were out during the day.
Yeah, that's a pretty big elephant in the room. We should talk about that.
Yes, and
Yes.
not only were they out during the day, they were out during one of the clearest days that we've experienced since our arrival here.
In a Arctic lake where there's nothing preventing us from looking down.
An
really,
Arctic
aside from the
lake
waves.
where if light goes through it, it would be refracted and made stronger, so...
what if it's a tactic? What if it's not a limitation, it's a tactic? You said that they seem like militaries fighting each other. They obviously have some ability to plan. What if they know that people tend to not be as ready at night and use that moment just for their attacks, which has us thinking that they are only active at night, with us having the mindset of treating them as animals instead of military units. It might be a tactic,
I
not
think
a limitation.
Seiko hit the nail on the head.
I'd actually say you're probably right about that. Remember what our conversation first night, Elisar? They'd have no reason to come from the same direction every single time. They didn't this time.
Trying
last
to
night.
get us
They
habituated
came up
into
from
certain
they
patterns.
They came up from the south last time.
And just like House of Dreams did with, hurling all of Thor's might our way, proceeding to catch us off guard with tactics that we haven't seen before.
It's a very Pavlovian tactic.
If $5 steak was just another predator that with some weird supernatural occurrence to it, why did it go straight for the generator to knock out power when it could have
Counterpoint,
easily
that
picked
one
and
actually
spun?
fits with the thing. It eats electricity.
Tactically speaking, I noticed something about $5 steak. And doctors, I apologize for being blunt, but I don't know any other way to put this. It's really stupid. There's no reason that it should have done that. It could have just taken out our cell tower, or like slowly whittled things away. But it didn't use tactics, it just went right towards the big ball of lightning and then tried to eat that. There's some independence they have, otherwise it wouldn't have done that.
Perhaps it's
That's
only tactical
likely
value.
what
when
we're
Maybe the
seeing.
tactic's a bit more like a line breaker.
Maybe that,
Send in the
or
big stupid brute to do bit massive damage, then send in other units through the cracks that they make.
Like a
yes, we
fire rocket.
just saw with the side of the unit that's still part animal.
Another theory crosses my mind. We sent a distress call out from Esotailor to you four. It was received. We've seen evidence that the good doctor is aware of radio waves, and someone out there is communicating with them. It is quite possible that they anticipated your arrival and sent $5 steak as a sort of welcoming gift. Something to rile you up and see if you were, would just
That
be
would make me feel
pushovers.
awful. I would feel awful if it was a welcoming gift because we arrived.
We're thinking they think tactically? I feel like it's possible. More than possible.
Send a big dumb brute to go check the new people's resolve and
Because-
capabilities.
If I remember correctly,
Makes
Millie,
sense. Not really a strategic loss to lose that big dumb thing if you can't control it well.
And furthermore, it doesn't seem like they're trying to win. If
Because
they
we're not the
were,
person they're fighting in the war.
why not send the penguins, the birds, the wolves, $5 steak, all at the same time?
What if we're not the ultimate target? What if that attack was Japan attacking Pearl Harbor to keep us out of it?
The theory did run by that they were a distraction. Something might be going on somewhere else that they don't want us to see.
And as far as $5 steak goes, it's not the first time in history that some group or entity has tried to use an animal as a weapon. The CIA tried to do something similar with dolphins at one point.
Fucking
Romans used
bastards.
flaming pigs.
Bat bombs.
Elephants.
Horrible, horrible things.
Anyway, radio's almost done.
Yeah.
See if we can.
See if that's still transmitting, or if it's turned itself off.
As I finish it up, I would put the...
I somewhat
the
hope that
receiver
it's not
on.
transmitting. It would make our job easier. And you hook up the radio, Amy?
I hook it up and I tune to that frequency.
Okay.
Here we go again.
Bad news, everybody. It's still there.
I love this song.
And this is, can I just do a quick brains roll just to see if this is the same one?
Go for
Already
it.
transcribed.
Meet me on Macaroni Island. Yeah, it's the first one you heard.
Okay.
It's the one that everyone else heard over at the base.
Yeah, it just sounds like the ones that you all responded to and set out towards the islands and in response of. However, it's not the one that we managed to pick up with the this analysis device that we have attached to House of Dreams' habitat.
We need to learn more about these butterflies as well.
It is strange that that specific signal was one that we were able to pick up between wherever it was sent, the Macaroni Islands, and the House of Dreams that we have kept in here in captivity. Now, it's just a theory, but I'm wondering if there's any significance to that, that we happened to intercept that specific signal that was seemingly being transmitted directly towards House of Dreams.
I feel like the message that you got here, Doctor, is a completely separate one. A separate intended audience, I suppose is the best way to put it.
Yes.
This one that we're hearing right now was intended to reach the Marine Lab,
Hold on a minute.
but
Strange.
it's
Okay.
like it was talking to someone else.
If that bird's following the faction against, theoretically, if that bird is following the faction against the good doctor, the good doctor controls their movements, is talking about us.
Oh. That's what that would mean, wouldn't it?
Uh-huh.
Not the frostbitten. Us.
Have we became the good doctor's troops without even realizing it?
If not in that practice, in their mind.
So it thinks that we're working with the good doctor and it's
Or
warning
it could
them?
be what it's being told to get them to attack us.
Can we, for the time being, refer to the other entity as the Blue Doctor?
The blue doctor. The bad
I mean-
doctor.
Sure.
It would be good to give it a moniker.
The ice doctor? That red stuff didn't quite look like ice.
The cold doctor. Make it both cold.
The Ice Doctor is being warned that we're working with the good doctor.
And what was that bit about butterflies?
Not to trust the butterfly.
That seems like a moniker.
That was in which message?
The
The
one
one
that
to
one
the Ice
bird.
Doctor, theoretically.
Then, if they are being told not to trust the butterflies, maybe we should try to find the butterflies.
And we should try and trust the butterfly ourselves.
The thought did occur to me that
Huh?
it didn't make sense for this message to be directed towards us because we were missing part of the context there, that we have no idea who this butterfly is or what exactly their lies are. But with this new perspective that this was indeed a message sent to the Frostbitten to coordinate their movements, then they must somehow know.
Don't believe their lies, no one survived.
That would imply that the butterfly is saying that they did survive, right?
That might be a clue as to what
Hold
started
on.
the war.
What do you got, Larry?
Did we do anything to fight or right before that signal went out? The night before?
That
Night.
signal was gathered as you guys were falling into the rift.
Yes, night 2. So,
It could be just been going on.
would have been the night before. Did we wipe out anything before that?
The initial attack force.
There is the
Night
initial.
2, not night
I
1.
mean, there are things that we've fought before you got here.
Yeah, I was gonna say this could easily have just been a message that's been going on for days, months, weeks, eons. We don't know.
I would like to harbor a hypothesis, an idea. What if none don't believe their lies, none survived? Every war has a beginning. What if this is a hint to theirs? What if, let's say, there's perhaps a peaceful meeting between the two that went south? Something happened and quote-unquote lives were lost. And while one side doesn't claim any responsibility, they're blamed anyway, thus starting the war. And the lie is that, no, someone did survive, or it wasn't us. And the lie is that they think, if I'm making sense, I'm sorry, I'm tripping over my words a little bit here,
No,
is that they think
I
that there was no
understand.
survivor, that was intentional. And I would like to hypothesize
What, like a
this.
false flag attack?
Yes, something like that. Which gives me the idea, if this signal is being used to transmit instructions to Frostbitten, what if we build a signal jammer for that frequency to disrupt their ability to coordinate?
Signal jammer would have to be so powerful to be anywhere effective.
There's
We
also.
could do it, but that falls under the same fear that I had earlier of if we start clearly supporting one or the other side, I feel like they're gonna notice. And it sounds like they've already noticed.
We may also be getting more than just a few frostbitten from one side or the other.
We
Yeah.
might not have a choice, is the thing.
Yes, we were attacked initially.
They've already tried to prevent us from having a means of escape. We've already been ID'd as a target. It's too late to not get involved.
Sick
would
us, right?
like-
Sorry, Bliss, but it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
If we take a side, sure, wonderful. I believe that the good doctor is at least intelligent enough to realize we can't just simply support his side without us knowing why he's doing things. He's communicated at least with a general understanding of the English language. That
And
being
there's also-
said, yes, Lucifer.
There's also been something very prevalent in my mind is that if there are two sides, the iced and the red,
Red and
we haven't been attacked by the red aside from whatever the hell Lucky One was. But I don't think they're affiliated with Good Doctor.
I was almost closer to an entirely separate fungal entity than a
Yes.
frostbitten.
So, to me, the only one that hasn't attacked us on either side is the Good Doctor.
It seems that he's not making a move against us until we make a move against him. So that's why I think personally, if we start jamming signals, that might count as a move against him.
Not if it,
And I, from what we've seen that the good doctor can do, you know, basically mind control.
true, we don't know if the same frequency is being used by the good doctor's forces. If it's only being used by his enemy and we jam it, he'd probably be happy about that. But if we try to jam it and disrupts both sides, then double the trouble.
I think we should focus on establishing communications and
Resupply.
it will sound
Gather
weird
supply,
with me.
fortify the base, establish communication.
If
Those are
anything,
the
we should at
primary
least
things.
choose one ally, because having an ally is better than being caught in the middle of two forces.
I have to agree with that. While in any other circumstance, I'd say it's too early to choose a side. I
what's
think
already
we've been pushed to a point here where we're kind of desperate for it.
I think that answer's already been chosen for us, considering one side isn't attacking us, the other actively is.
We don't know why the other actively is attacking us.
It doesn't matter.
I think it
We have
does
every right
matter
to
very
defend-
much if they're being
have-
misled.
If they're attacking us, we have every reason to defend ourselves.
Um,
By any means necessary.
They probably don't think like that, Seiko. They probably think
It's
we're in the
war,
wrong.
They do.
Let's go off that theory that Lucifer had earlier. The thought of them being the stand of Antarctica. If that were the case, we're the ones who attacked first. And they're only
The
doing what
military
they need to do in defending their own home. Because we shouldn't be here.
What? Why don't, instead of jumping to conclusions, why don't we just ask the good doctor himself?
That is what
for
I
the
have been
war?
trying to get in for like the past 5 minutes. I volunteered communicating with him again because I think he likes me out of all of us. Because I've said hi.
Congratulations on being amiable.
Our
It's-
ambassador to the Reds.
It was a gut feeling.
Don't
I
start
had-
calling them Reds, please. That sounds bad.
Oh, we should really come up with better monikers.
We
You
do.
can
We-
just
we-
call
we
them
should.
the Frostbitten and the Unbitten.
The Unbitten.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that works. Maybe.
Oh, yeah, you've been killing it with the naming conventions thus far.
Thanks, I'm doing my best.
Well, there's this conversation feels like it's gonna go in a circle very soon. I feel like we should, in my personal opinion, number 1, communications tower. Number 2, if the good doctor shows up, I can hopefully get something, some kind of inkling. Number 3, possibly finding the research base that's underground, trademark.
I think number 3 should actually be weapons training and that sort of thing for everyone for the base.
Hey Larry, since the goal is to put in a request for supplies anyway, why don't you make a manifest of equipment, parts, and supplies that we need, since you'd probably have the best knowledge of how to do that and what we actually need for defense.
I can probably pull some strings, get a military airdrop. If
That
we
would
can
be
get a
best case.
communications.
We also may want to
Won't be anything
acknowledge
bigger than small arms and maybe some rations, but
the anti-air.
I also think
That
that
is
one
pretty
of our
careful.
priorities on that list somewhere should be scouting. I think we don't know enough, so just figuring out where things are in general.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. Should pick a clear day to go do that.
Also, a interesting concept I just had, because I just remembered Encore the other night was telling me about dynamite he found, apparently, on the first day we were here.
I believe there's dynamite even here, yes.
We could also, whenever we decide to go looking for the Arctic base, perhaps clearing the way of the shuttle.
One of the best ways to do that would probably be with Valencia's expertise. She was a demolitions man before she was an electrician.
And I can assist in that.
Oh, yeah, actually, that does remind me. Val and Murphy wanted me to tell you guys. Murph found a way that he can help without being in the base.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're out on the cliffside. Val's helping him set a way down to, we have a little bit of a lookout on the side of the cliff. He thinks he can set up a telescope there. Try and, like, look for Frostbitten, spot more turkeys.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to meet up with you guys at some point. I don't know what for, but
That would actually be nice to have extra eyes, because that's our first cue of Frostbitten coming in.
yeah, we've been caught off guard way too much.
My only concern is that this is purely a concern when it comes to Murphy, is that if he's out there, so far away from the base, if his condition suddenly gets worse, there's no way that we're going to be able to rescue him in time. We're going to have a repeat of what we ran into on the Titanic.
you're not that far away from the base. You can see him from the window.
By the cliffs?
Yeah, like, he's just down there. I point back behind us.
This is very
Wait,
true.
you
You
can
can
actually
actually see him from here.
I
Yeah,
have-
yeah, you can actually see him from there.
Never mind.
I've been putting it off because it's so absurd, but it is another question I have. What, in the name of all creation, is a wreck that's supposed to be at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean doing here in Antarctica.
We ain't got shit for that, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to speculate.
But we should at least acknowledge that it's weird and not
normal.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Oh, I'm
got
fully doing that. I'm just not gonna
magnetized.
wildly speculate.
I like wildly speculating. Seiko,
Oh,
do you
that
mind
reminds
if I
me.
send you wild speculations while you're traveling?
I will love your wild speculation.
Okay, cool. Sorry. She like places a hand down and you hear her just mutter, "Mad scientist, go down, go down."
Oh, Millie, that's when all the fun ideas happen.
Any and all ideas should be welcomed and analyzed for the chance that they might have a good solution to our
I like to
problems.
keep my crazy in private.
Well, now we need your crazy to be out in public.
Okay, well, let's start with the first theory then. The ship got here on a giant wave.
Not as crazy as... No, that's so crazy, perhaps.
Problem actually is closer to the fact that there's still 2 ships, actually.
In our side ship, the
Because
ruins
there
of the
is-
sunken Titanic haven't mysteriously vanished overnight.
Also, that ship is still technically intact.
That just means there's 2 Titanics, and that's a whole nother thing to deal with.
I mean, there's the crazy theory that the Titanic wasn't actually finished and it was her sister ship that took her name, but anyway, there's that whole
Conspiracy
Also-
theory.
There's also the fact that Lucky One had a holdup in there. Which, by the way, we should really help
double
Murphy
check
out.
that later.
I feel like something that should be done is burning that whole thing down. I know preservation of scientific materials and all of that, but it has an airborne
Oh,
illness
it's already
in it.
on fire, don't worry. Or it was, at least.
We've
Furthering
probably
that
burned out.
process.
Further in
It's
that
probably
process,
exploded
we
by
should
now.
add on to the list of objectives, potentially revisiting the area and surveying what damage has been done and seeing if we can, I don't know, maybe develop some sort of cure for that through
Everything-
through medical
I have-
research rather than just using your Haman.
I have an idea for helping Murphy out. I might set up an IV drip for him. I have an insane idea for not destroying Murphy with sun magic as Lucy kind of like waves hand around.
It's
like,
not magic, Lucifer. It's natural.
It's a fucking breathing technique.
I would put forth a suggestion, by the way, before we stray away from the topic too much.
There, he puts a cigarette
That-
in his mouth.
If we do go back to the if we do go back to the Titanic, making our way to the bridge and maybe locating a captain's log to find out what happened. Who knows?
I
It
mean,
might
yeah,
be
so let's
related.
go search the burning ship for a captain's log. That's gonna turn out well.
That's an
Alright,
idea.
well,
No.
I do have something. I think going to the shuttle loop and seeing what the situation is, maybe bringing Val there, seeing if she can help with ascertaining how bad the damage is. Maybe when we can get down some more information at the Ice Core lab, it would just make traveling easier. I feel like that's
If
something
we-
to do.
Yeah, we did find on our way out to the shipwreck, we stumbled across another entrance into the shuttle loop. Perhaps if we organize this the right way, this is something that we could all do in just one day trip.
We can also scout. I kind of want to go on a scouting mission.
How many vehicles do we have? Maybe we could organize some sort of convoy.
Assuming they didn't break the one back at the airport after we ran.
We have 2 rovers. One is currently here and has been redelivered by Encore. Thank you, Encore. We also have
Encore
a
thumbs up.
rover at the base of the Devil's Switchback. It cannot climb all the way back up, but it could be useful for Flat's traversal. And we have 1 convoy. It's not currently functional, but it could be useful for traversing back something heavy if you need to move things around.
Okay.
We might be able to rig up, perhaps, with enough time, if we can find proper parts, we could perhaps build a couple snowmobiles.
That sounds like a job I could sink my teeth into.
I think first we need to sink our teeth again into communications. We need to get supplies. We
that's
need
not
to
fun.
get.
And there's the roundabout.
None of this is doable without communications and supplies, so that, I think, should
Can we
be
stop
our...
talking around the point and talk
primary
about how we're
objective.
gonna do that first?
I look at Psycho and Millie because they're the two that I know are good at communications.
First idea that we had was related to the weather balloon. Just getting something up there into the atmosphere that could send out a strug signal.
If you guys want to look around elsewhere and not at the marine lab today, I can get a prototype set up in my lab. And I can still help you with my scouters. Which, by the way, look, I know it was really helpful for a theory, but please don't use EMPs around my equipment. Here, she hands out some new scouters.
Oh, thank you. I assume that, like, over the night we've returned the ones that have been busted back.
Yeah, she fixed them back up.
Yeah.
It might be helpful to make some pulse-based weaponry or some EMP grenades, for lack of a better term.
A little bit of planning for the future here, but if we do end up getting the right info to determine that the good doctor is the side that we would want to side with, maybe setting up some sort of EMP ray, something that we could direct towards the Frostbitten that are trying to attack us and convert them on the spot.
Yeah, so we don't shut down the poor doctor's pacemaker constantly.
Dr. Tiller's gonna go over here, pull out a whiteboard, and she's just gonna put on it the 4 bullet points that have been mentioned, circles communications, and then starts to write down names for what people are doing. And then it's just like, alright, the laboratory base here will work on reviewing data and trying to send up an immediate SOS. One of the days in the future, either tomorrow or the day after, we head back to the marine lab and attempt to establish the grounds to create a radio antenna to communicate with the continents.
Isn't that nice and considerate of you, Corporal? I swear it was only yesterday that, not 5 seconds after I had been told I had potential brain damage, you punched me in the head. I'm sorry, makes a point to press the ice pack further into his face.
Yeah.
There he just looks at LSR and blinks.
I understand you did what you had to do, but come on now.
Elsa,
Is now really the time for this?
I would have rather had
Anyway,
this conversation
I'm gonna
in
be
the
heading
past.
Oh,
back
don't
to the
worry, Seiko,
airport
I'm
to
not-
scout out, see what damage was done in daylight.
I'm not too sore about it still.
Are you dented?
Right. Hey, Millie.
Yes?
We got work to do.
Got a
sister.
gamer
Let's go.
dent.
Oh, you wanna help?
Do you know any other communications experts here? Exactly,
I
let's
know
go.
my dad, but okay. Huh.
Wait, Millie.
Yes, what?
Skirt.
Hop.
Perhaps if we were all experts at communicating, we'd be a better, more cohesive team.
Millie.
Don't say that too loudly, Elsa.
You're gonna need some help. Take this.
Don't give me more ideas for fucking military training.
I'm trusting you to look out for Millie.
This is a wondrous item. The bunny salutes. Thank you, Encore.
Encore salutes back. Keep her safe. Skirt.
Millie comes out carrying a rabbit.
So, first thing that comes to my mind for trouble with this thing is perhaps a power source.
Hmm.
Wouldn't happen to have any LiPo batteries lying around, would you?
Well, you're in luck. I've got a lot.
Oh, hell yes. Let's do this.
Now, something that I want to work on. Are you any good at computing? Or should I be the one to handle that side of the deal? Because I'm trying to figure out how we're going to launch something through a blizzard.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem. I'll let you handle that, though. I'm not the best with computers.
My current thought is using an artificial intelligence algorithm to adjust the shuttle fins so that we can theoretically launch a perfect rocket that can adapt to the winds by, we would have to get
Onboard
a wind...
gyroscope with a spiral flight pattern.
Yeah, basically. That's a more mundane way to put it, but yeah.
Alright.
Do you want to work on making sure that the signal goes boom?
Yeah. I can make a small transmitter with we can set up some kind of time delay or a pressure switch. So when it detects the right degree of atmospheric pressure change, when it's up high enough, it'll trigger and scream its little head off.
Attach it to a bag of chips.
That's really smart. And as you guys are working on this, Unknown is hopping around the lab table as you're putting down parts and just like occasionally pointing at something or pointing at something else. He seems to think he's helping.
Deko does everything in her power to humor and make him continue to think that.
All right. So I'm going to consider this a crafting roll with a little bit of a teamwork bonus. This will
Okay.
take some time, but a tier 5 item, so you have a +3 versus...
While they're prepping the rocket and designing the tower, I'm gonna check up on the trap, because I noticed it got triggered when we arrived last night. Then I'm gonna head to the airfield and see what damage they did.
That's a good idea. And after that, what should we be spending our daylight doing? Out of all of these things that we have listed up here on this board.
Well, I think there are a few obvious choices and a few less so obvious choices. If you want to mount another attack at Macaroni Island, we can make the attempt.
We don't know if there's any sort of time constraints on reaching whoever sent out the distress signal from the Macaroni Islands.
That's also implying they didn't attack the helicopter.
That's also implying that the time constraint is the person there still being alive.
It could be an automated
We
could
So
be an
waiting an extra
automated
day could be
repeating
the last day
signal.
of water or starvation for
We
them.
could spend today just simply looking at infrastructure and seeing how hard it would be to clear a path through the shuttle loop.
True.
Fortifying the base, repairing.
An idea if I could grab Murphy.
Oh, damn.
Yo! Yeah!
I love these. Thank
Got
you,
a
Wesley.
Bliss.
Bliss.
We got a Camellia.
Hell
Yeah!
And we got a boy.
Updated Murphy.
Yeah! Punish Murph!
I'm gonna kill him.
I didn't hear that.
Well, if we want to do reconnaissance of Macaroni Island before we gauge an attack, me and Namoncore could assist Murphy in getting through the storm at least.
Yes, that sounds good. I believe that tackling the Macaroni Island should be our first mode of operation here. After all, since we are sending out this signal for a request for supplies, we're going to want to make sure that they can reach us safely without being shot out of the sky.
Yes, in which case, LSR, you might be requested.
I can help, yes.
I'll be honest, I'm much better offensive than defensive, despite Num's ability.
I do not believe that my presence is required in the labs at this current moment. Dr. Taylor, I would like to try to get some sort of project going, still regarding the Frostbitten that we have in captivity, just to figure out a little bit more about those readings that we were getting from the whole Earth's magnetic pool, that sort of thing.
If you would like me to run some tests while you're out, I can tell you what we've found come the morning.
Yes.
I'm sure that there are some things I can do. Especially if me and Professor Iso are working together. I believe we'll be able to handle it.
Dr. Issa, is that something that you'd be interested in doing while we are out investigating the islands?
Yeah, it's not like I can do much about the lab up north, so I think figuring out what we can about what we got here is a good idea.
And maybe, just maybe, after we are able to figure out all that we can from these guys over here, and their little guy pods, I was thinking about potentially tagging them and releasing them. After all, if we do want to continue forward without choosing one side or the other, continuing to house prisoners of war isn't exactly a good look.
No, it's not. Alright, I can see the logic there.
And if we get trackers on them, we can maybe figure out a little bit more about that suggestion that I heard. I think from Millie about analyzing their movements and trying to see if there's any sort of patterns there. I wonder if we could get up something similar that we use with the scouters. Something that we can attach to them upon their release, which would communicate back to the base's main AI. And we could just have the We could just have the computer do all of the analyzing.
At the very least, we could get an idea where they go.
Yes, we could actually, from that, potentially get a forecast system going.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a really great idea.
So that we know, like, which areas on what days are going to be a high risk for frostbitten attacks and where it's going to be less of a risk.
I'll bring it up to Millie. Are you guys gonna be heading out for the day, though? Is that what I'm getting here?
If the helicopter is still in one piece, I think so.
Alright.
I just need to make a preparation or two before we leave.
Very well.
I was figuring we might be here studying the new wolf, depending on whether or not it's still there in the trap.
That too. I would like to use the little portion of daylight that we are afforded. Although that we have seen that maybe it doesn't matter as much as we initially understood. There we go, found it.
Is your voice messing up again?
What do you mean?
At the
What do you
very
mean again?
least, we can be certain
You
that the
sounded all
frostbitten...
wheezy when you got DMP'd anyway.
We can be
What's a
certain...
DMP?
Priorities. Thank you. We can be certain that they won't attack during the day. You are safe to go out for the following 3 hours. We will expect you back, though, after that amount of time. Yes?
I think so. Barring anything terrible happens.
Well, Bliss and I will do our best to find out whatever we can about the House of Dreams member that we have here while you are out. Best of luck. Contact us if you need us.
I feel like that was a productive meeting.
Yes. Passes the chair over to Bliss.
Thank you.
This is stacky chairs.
Yeah?
Skirt. 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 Encore, no. They put that away. He slides it across the floor. Skirt.
He's standing on a chair.
Bliss catches it with like his foot and then pops it up into his hand. Spins it around. Way too extra.
Impressive. Way too extra. I want to take a look at something real quick now that it just popped into my mind.
Uh-huh.
The Aurora Australis and Lucy's gonna look at that for a second. I wonder. Lucy's gonna place a hand on the containment.
It looks up at you as you do this.
I look down at it. I wonder if there's a way for if we become a muse somehow. Some sort of gesture. I feel like that's something I should look forward into. Because I want to understand you. What are you, House of Dreams? He just kind of like leaves, rubbing his, having his hand rub against the containment before he leaves. You two have a good time. Don't work too hard.
Bliss just smiles.
Hey, yeah, I can promise that. No promises for her.
Excuse you, Professor Iso. It is a completely necessary amount of effort that I put into everything.
Yeah, and it's a completely necessary amount of sleep you get too.
God, I love how sassy he is.
He's wonderful. I love him.
Alright, Taliyah, we should go talk to Murphy real quick.
Ah, yes.
As you come out of Isotiller, you would see Murph and Val. They seem to be chatting. Val's wearing a much bigger, like, fur-lined parka.
Well, we should go say hello. We see what the plans exactly are.
And hopefully Murphy's on board for...
You overhear very slightly in the distance. I promise you it's completely safe. You don't have to worry about any structural instabilities. It'll function for at least a week.
With the science team.
Yeah, okay. Just be fucking thankful that at least my neck can't break. Okay.
Ah, yes. Is this a small building or is it just like a platform they've built here?
Essentially, what you've got is the start of a shed with a little hood over the top and a ladder that's going
I
down. The ladder is sort of staked into the side of the cliff using climbing equipment, it appears. It's very rudimentary. It was just set up last night, more or less.
Yeah. Decided to sneak away from the meeting and build a little house out here, I see.
Yep, we've decided to elope. You got us.
Lovely spot for it. The view,
Oh, congratulations.
impeccable.
Shut your fucking trap down, Barry. Don't go giving them ideas.
Well, I was happy for
What,
the
you not into gilfs?
You can see all the
Encore snickers around the corner.
snow and the ice and the sharp, jagged rocks beneath you from up here.
Perfectly romantic. Perfectly stable. Just like any relationship that happens to form in this hut, which I'm not saying that there isn't going to be one.
Perfectly stable, just like the architecture.
Okay. That's it. I've
Definitely
heard
not
enough.
destined to fall within a week.
Do you want to hear my plan or fucking not?
Please go on, Murphy.
Actually, it's probably better to fucking... Here. Come down this way. I can show you guys what I've got set up.
He is going to start his way down the ladder.
Alright, do I...
Yeah,
Oh,
Duncan?
Okay.
Do I
Well-
spend a point for every rung on the ladder, Tali?
How many points do you have?
I have only 10.
How
How many
about you
rungs are in
spend a
this thing?
point to go down the ladder? How about that?
Oh, it appears
Okay.
I've been stuck right here. Can somebody
mean,
please give me some assistance? First off, good work, Val.
Thank you.
Kind of wanted to
This
talk
was very short
about
notice. I've been doing a lot of that recently.
It has been one morning.
Yep. I couldn't help but notice this one over here, constantly scrambling away in the middle of my generator room with what knows ungodly devices. I figured I might as well put some use to all those parts. Here we go. As you start to climb down, you do see the equivalent of like a little platform set up. Seems older. Definitely seems like something that had been made before you got here.
Ooh, this is a neat map.
Oh, this is cool.
This is
Oh,
massive.
dang.
Holy shit.
This was more than I expected.
Good show, Val. Holy shit.
Like I said, it'll hold for a week. Ish.
Yeah, so this is my
Okay.
plan. Since I figured I can't exactly be in the base because I'm contaminated or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Set up down here.
continue. I'll talk to
Got a telescope set up. I can pretty well see most of the flats up until the edge of the mountain range down here, so if there's any frostbitten force moving, I'll see it.
Did you hear that, Lucifer?
Mhm.
You'll see it. This is actually works into something that a bit of a project that I suggested we work on is trying to figure out some sort of map to their movements. Oh wow, I see they even got that thing on a full swivel. Very nice. Until we can get something set up with trackers on the captive frostbitten that we currently have back in the labs, perhaps this can provide us some useful information to get some sort of forecast system set up for the frostbitten. Try to predict their movements.
You want me to start being like an ornithologist or something? Keep track of birds, that sort of thing? Count how many
I mean,
House of
that's-
Dreams I see?
That is actually very helpful as they attach themselves to muses.
I was being sarcastic. Really?
Well, I was
Okay,
thinking,
yeah,
I was
fine,
thinking you were smart for a second, Murphy.
I mean, I am smart. What do you... Val, do you have a notebook?
Yes, I have a notebook. Here. Do you know how to use a pencil, Mr. Smartman?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, you didn't know how to use a telescope, so I'm just making sure.
Okay, listen.
I love these two so much.
How well versed are you with strategic conduct? I'm not quite sure what the right word is for it, but Larry, our corporal, chief of security, suggested that we do some training while we all have time back at the base.
I've got combat training. Not the best of it, but I have it.
Well,
We did have a good look at that back at the Titanic.
I'm sorry.
yes. About the Titanic. Another plan that we came up with during our meeting was to find a day to eventually return back to there, survey the damages, maybe try to figure out a little bit more about what's going on with the shipwreck, and with a little bit of a medical study and research, maybe bring you a cure.
I've also had
That would be
a theory.
nice.
I might actually have an idea to expunge the lucky one inside you. It would require at least Jean's help, but I believe I might be able to help you
Well,
without, you dying.
ain't that the kicker?
I may have the exact properties available to me with my siblings to help you.
Huh. Alright.
My current theory is to either do that before the day's end or after what I actually came here to talk to you about.
You didn't just come to see my telescope. Damn.
We don't know each other that well.
It's an impressive telescope. I'm
There
sure
you
of
go.
above
That's
average
more
size.
like it. Val's just gonna elbow Lucy.
Uh-huh.
Murphy just lowers his hat lower.
Uh-huh. There's other problems there, but I'll yes,
Was that not intentional?
it So Murphy. We may be making another run by Macaroni Island. It would require your assistance to pilot the helicopter.
Fucking already? Really?
Well, this would be a different... Instead of going to go check out everything, it'd be more of a survey mission. It would literally be a full speed in and out.
We'd
would
be
be able
avoiding
to-
the turkey, hopefully.
And I would be available to help us through the blizzard with Numb and Encore here.
Okay.
No snow can stop me.
We still have to go check in with the corporal to see if there's been any damages dealt to the chopper as well.
That means I'm not gonna
This might be something-
here for
This might be
tonight.
something for... not necessarily. If there are damages, this will be a mission for another day.
Of course. It would be in and out if available.
Pilot your helicopter. Dr. Sipinski, if you keep doing your thing to block whatever the fuck the turkey throws, we're good. I can try it.
I trust my abilities to continue doing so. Although it was throwing some mighty curveballs at us.
Yeah. As long as we're staying away from it, I'm fine with skirting around the island.
Never been much of one for baseball, but perhaps I have some teams back home that could use a new pitcher.
My personal theory is to come in from the west side of the island, going almost as like a U shape or a like a crescent moon.
Okay.
Instead of a direct, because that's where they were beforehand, is the straight shot between the lab. So if anything, we would at least have a new angle to surprise them if they are not looking in that direction.
And if it makes you feel any better, Shinzo, I can sit down here and watch your telescope while you're gone.
You know, that does work. Alright. Sure.
Shall we get going then?
Yeah.
Don't want to be caught off guard by sudden nightfall again. Take care now, Val.
Yes,
Please be
I'm
safe.
not going to stay out here for too terribly long. This place wasn't set up
Yes.
with warmth
Yes.
in mind.
You should also maybe consider a quick escape method aside from this ladder. Maybe like a pulley system or something that's automatic. They are kind of fast.
Family affair shows up behind her back. Have you ever heard of catapults?
The kineticist inside me goes, yes, that is a great idea.
As long as the floor is made of metal, I've got a way out. Don't worry about me.
That's clever, actually. Very good. In which case, we will see you later, Val.
She does like a little two-finger wave.
Subtracting another point for the ladder.
There you go.
Murphy
I'll
watches
find
your
the side of the
apprehension
wall.
for a second, just like curious how it's gonna look. All right.
Murphy get 2 bizarre points anyway.
Skitter.
So,
Go outside, breathe the nice cold air, light a cigarette, go check on the dog. Well, shit.
you find no sign of a dog. The tarp is still at the bottom of the pit.
Was any evidence that it climbed out?
Not really.
Well, he hops down, he grabs the tarp, he pops back up, and he puts the tarp back on. Can always try another day. I just go off to... I do a cursory once through of just, does anything look like it's been rummaged through, searched, destroyed?
Give me a brains roll.
I was anticipating one of the Emperor Penguins just being right there around the corner, Tali.
I got a
Don't
plus
tempt her,
1 on
please.
this.
Don't tempt her.
I'm just gonna hit the button.
Escalation. Other than the apparent evidence of panic and the slight drifting from snow, there doesn't seem like anything's been messed with since you've been gone. There's a flashlight on the ground that it seems Murphy dropped.
Could have been mine.
Here, you can have it. It's yours now. And the EM field generator is still stuck in the ground. Looking at the plane, it's pretty clear that the tail has been very badly damaged. The rest of it seems intact, but the tail fin is kind of like swaying in the wind a little bit.
Also a missing part of the underwing.
That too.
Eehoo.
Eehoo. Encore.
Eehoo encore.
We're gonna pick up the EM field generator off the ground.
Okay.
Because I didn't stick it anywhere, I just kind of tossed it.
Yeah, you do so.
Looks like Encore actually did grab the buggy while I wasn't home and was paying attention. So I thought we parked it here.
Got anything wrong with the helicopter?
Nope. Thing's intact.
Damage to the plane, but not the helicopter. Fair enough, this has been here for a while and I haven't used it to escape. Or use it for going to get help. Probably don't think it's a strategic issue. Let's make it a tactical one.
I'm gonna see if I can turn it on so I can check, like, levels of, like, gas and shit.
You don't have the keys.
Fair enough. Hoping Murphy was lazy and left the keys in. Oh well.
Ah! He is lazy. I could make a roll if you want me to.
Murphy gets the universe. Did he forget his keys in the ignition?
Yeah, Murphy's got his flaw, and he's got a trait about being lazy. I think it's very likely that Murphy would have forgotten them. Minus his lazy flaw. And here's the universe against him. Yeah, he forgot the keys.
Got a triple the lazy flaw there.
Alright, I'm gonna just turn it on. Not to start the rotors, but just turn it on so like the system updates to
Yeah,
like in a car. See gas, oil levels, that sort of things.
everything seems nominal. The oil is old and could use replacing, and the gas, you have got 3/4 of a tank left.
And I'm gonna turn that back off. I'm gonna take the keys myself.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna just do a once over again of the whole place to see if
Looking for anything else?
the penguins, the big penguins, looked like they were slow, large, and sort of shuffling.
Mhm.
You know, penguin movement.
Yep.
I'm gonna look for their tracks. I want to see how much they left tracks.
Okay. You look around for the penguin's tracks. Even from your memory of where they were, you don't find anything.
Yep, that's about right. Alright.
So you guys talked about using Millie's scouter and AI, Murphy's observation, and your general knowledge of the Frostbitten to do like a forecast system. I think it would be really fun if I gave you guys a forecast before a night session.
That's fun.
So I could tell you guys the relative danger level of the night session
Yeah.
before you see it. And you hear Millie, "Hey, so, guys, your plan worked amazingly. I've got some information for you. I've got a forecast system set up with Murphy's surveillance, your guys' scouters, and some general analysis of the wind patterns and the storm to judge the best traversal paths that the Frostbitten could take to get here. Tonight should be pretty safe. I don't think it's going to be much of a threat. I'm going to give it a 1-star danger level.
Oh, that's lovely.
I don't see much movement.
That's a lot better than the previous nights.
Yeah, I think you guys deserve a breather.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Okay, wonderful.
Oh, that's a relief. If we have to make an emergency landing out there on the island, it's good to know that nothing horribly wrong is going to be happening back here.
So, all 5 of you are heading out to Macaroni Island by helicopter?
Macaroni.
Current idea is to kind of go around this way, ignoring this part right here.
Not be spotted.
As you get into the helicopter and it lifts off, Murphy's gonna be like,
All right. So we're just making a scouting run, yeah? In and out real quick?
Yes, we just want to figure out where the source is of the signal, if there's any kind of shack or radio or, God forbid, a frozen body.
Right. If there's something that's being sent out from the island, it must be exposed to the open air.
Okay.
Is there a way that we can maybe track the signal easier with Seiko's help here?
No. In order to help track the signal better, Seiko's going to hold onto it with one hand and hang out of the helicopter, taking a risk to do it.
Num is going to hold you by your collar.
It's fucking stupid, okay.
I'll have to make it a -1.
yeah.
I reiterate, why are we bringing this dumbass?
I told her as much that if she falls out of the helicopter, I'm not grabbing her.
You lock onto the signal coming from Macaroni Island. It's still on the same frequency. And it's coming through your radio clearly if you ever want to turn it on. I want to also ask, as you guys go towards the island, is anyone going to be scanning the upper shelf, or are we just focusing on the upper island?
I'm definitely going to be looking down for more John Lennons.
Okay. And I would like you to roll me a D100, please.
I do move, it hurts.
I'll have a check.
Object.
It's the John Legion.
It's the John Legion.
So, Lucy.
Hi.
Down on the upper shelf, you see something. Something moving.
Uh-huh.
Something moving that looks vaguely familiar.
Uh-huh. And say,
Oh,
hello there.
Slowly, very slowly, you see the Frostbitten from King's Pass, drifting north.
Is that...
This music. Oh
Yes. Is it,
That's the one that's from King's Pass, look.
Yes, the one that we saw while we were going out to rescue you, Murphy.
Yes.
Frostbitten in daylight again?
Well, this time we can get a better view of it.
I'd honestly rather not stick around it just in case, but...
Do you want me to
Hold on,
approach it, or do you want me to avoid it?
Keep
Whatever
going.
that is, engaging it is not scouting. Let's keep away from it.
Continue as you are. Could I plot point something about the scouters?
Depends.
Can I get a zoom in function with some camera
Yeah.
and have those sent to Millie?
Can you give me a brains roll?
That I can.
Okay. So you're scanning in at this, Lucifer. Murphy is taking a wide breadth of it. First and foremost, what you would see is it's not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You notice the two wild things from before are still there at the front, just kind of padding in front of it, as well as there seems to be a few House of Dreams flitting around it.
Mm-hmm.
Furthermore, with the brightness, you can see that it is definitely made of metal.
It looks like a convoy.
It does. It's exactly as before. I wonder if these are...
And then there's one more thing. Because of how much you won that roll by, I want you to roll one more time.
Well, I'm going to resolve that. This is too important.
Good call.
Okay.
Very good call.
This is an escalation.
Lucifer,
I...
you catch a color that you didn't see before. I'm going to zoom in on it for this. You see how it looks like a sort of grate on the front of this spheroid ball?
Mm-hmm.
You look in a little bit deeper, and using the zoom in function on the scouter picks something up. Its automatic recognition system keys in. As you see, basically a tuft of hair sticking out of the cage.
What color is there?
Brown.
Automatic recognition system?
Hmm.
Yeah. You know how when like
Does it recognize
it's recognizing this. For some reason your scouter is recognizing this.
Is there a readout of what it recognizes it as?
Not on the scouter. You would have to ask Millie.
Millie, are you gathering any of this?
What's that? Wait, did you pick something up already?
Hi. Get to your laptop real quick. We have discovered one of those large frostbittens from King's Past. Or what we're assuming is still with the frostbitten.
Oh.
The mechanical one.
What the heck is that? Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it. You're sending me pictures.
Yes, it's currently heading in the direction of the Marine Lab, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got something with it. Could you see if the AI could scan and try and pick up something from these pictures?
Triggering the recognition system.
That's... What? You said it's moving north?
Currently it appears to be going towards the Marine Lab, so northeast?
Okay.
North from East Otilla currently?
That's a person.
Wonderful!
We need to switch to...
So what you're saying is that's a prisoner convoy.
That's exactly what I thought it was initially.
Does it recognize which person?
I don't have enough features, but it's definitely coming up as human.
I don't know if we have enough firepower for this.
Ooh,
We have to at least try.
hang on one second.
You know what? No, I
else
know
could be
we don't
out
have
here,
enough
though?
firepower for this.
Hold on, give me a second. LSR, is there a way that you could use your ability to peer inside it briefly?
We'll have to pull in closer. It's a limit on how far I can use my ability.
Okay,
It might be risky.
it might be, given the wild things in the House of Dreams, but if they decide to turn on us, I believe we're gonna be faster.
Oh, it's all a random question. How much can you store in your pocket dimension?
Theoretically, it's not how much I can store, it's what I'm able to fit in.
How much are you able to fit in, roughly?
Anything that's able to go through the 60 by 60 by 60 opening I can create.
And you can just fill it infinitely?
Infinitely. I'll have to go back to the position that I was in when I initially stored something within the fold.
Okay, so you can't,
If
for example,
I were
you can't just sloop low over like ism, fill it with water and drench the guys to as a start of combat.
No, we'd have to figure out some way to move the water within the fold still. I cannot use the fifth to to have that sort of effect on the world around us. It's merely creating an opening. I unfortunately would not be able to influence the water in such a way.
Are you able to cloak us?
I could, again, moving the entire helicopter into the fold. It might have unforeseen effects, but if we want to try to get in closer, I'd have to drop the cloak in order to be able to get a clearer picture on whoever it is that's being held captive within this device.
Could we get close enough, drag the big one into the fold and then fly away and lead the others away, so we only have to deal with the big one later?
If I were to move the big one into the fold, it would stay there until I opened another gate into the fifth for it to leave. Once it is in the fold, it is in the fold, and it can move around in the fold as it so pleases. It'd essentially be just cloaking it and having it permanently be there as a risk to the fifth itself.
I've also just kind of realized something, looking up at the sky. Yeah, it's daytime.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
I think my theory that they only attack at night because it's tactically sound, but are still active during the day. Looks like that holds water. Especially if they have a prison convoy right down there. They are using tactics.
Yeah.
Which means if we try and grab the thing, they may turn tail into Isotiller.
Yeah, Murphy.
Yeah.
I'm going to open up a gateway into the fold. If you want to take us through it, circle us back around. Once we're close enough, I can quickly take us out of the fold. I could try to see whoever it is that they have held captive in there. We can get some answers, and then we can continue on our way.
It's
This is risky.
risky, but I can do it. If you think we'll be safe enough, I'll try it.
Very well. While we are within the fold, do not let anything that you are seeing distract you from flying safely.
Didn't plan on it. Also, what do you mean see?
Things might be ever so slightly different.
It's very trippy.
It's sort of a... While you might not be able to describe any of the differences that you see, it'll be an uncanny sort of effect. It won't affect your flying too much, hopefully, because I'm not taking us too deep within the fold. Only about a level.
So, Duncan, could I get a precision roll from you, please?
Sure thing, Tali.
Nice roll.
Nice on.
Murphy pilots the helicopter around into the fold. And again, there's that shuddering, just kind of like a blanket is pulled over you, and everything feels a little weird. Murphy does have to reorient the helicopter just a little bit and then realizes, oh, it's supposed to be flying like that, as it's on like maybe a 2 or 3 degree tilt now.
It is, but not.
It is, but isn't. And then he's just like, oh, that's just normal. And he's going to slowly bring the helicopter down closer. You guys will get a better view.
I'm Batman already? Okay.
Yeah, so as you come closer, they don't seem to make any moves.
From here, I would be able to use my ability, but that would drop the cloak on us.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna keep the scouter on for the rest
is
of the
everybody
ships.
ready? Make sure you have a good view of that. I'm going to try to use my ability to make whoever is being kept in there visible to us.
Encore is gonna place both hands on the helicopter. Alright, I'm ready if we need to move.
All right.
I suppose I'll prepare in case we fall.
Heh, we ain't gonna lose this.
A little fist bump between them and Encore, and yeah. You're gonna need to roll... Rather than precision, I would like you to roll speed.
Okay.
Just to see how quickly you're able to analyze this. Of course.
Nice.
Escalation.
2 5s.
Nice! Nice!
Yo.
Okay. The helicopter first shimmers, and you're visible, floating there, exposed. There's no immediate shift in the conglomerate. Furthermore, you're able to see inside as you flip open the roof of this containment cell. And you see someone in there. Unconscious.
Yoki pretty.
Really, are you picking this up?
I am.
Anything in the recognition software? It picked it up earlier.
I don't need my software.
Uh-huh.
That's my uncle. What's he doing here?
Was he not in here, Sotiller?
He was. A while ago.
He was one of the ones who departed.
He was part of the tunnel construction team. You guys have seen a place named after him, even. His name is Ancillor King.
King's Pass.
King's Pass.
I see. Wow, this is a discovery.
We should probably do something about that.
Murphy, book it!
Yeah, I'm on it.
As he's starting to go back up, just... You guys seem to have been quick enough. It doesn't turn to you, it just keeps moving north. You hear Millie scrambling again on the other side. What's he doing here? He should have departed so long ago. Why is he still here?
That is...
You know my theory that there's something in those underground tunnels is looking far more accurate.
Yeah.
Murphy, excuse me for a second, Millie. Murphy,
Yep.
how long have you been the operating pilot for this Antarctic
About
base?
5 years.
5 years. And within that time frame, would have Ancillor King departed and headed back towards the main continent?
Let's see. Ancillor came in and out. He wasn't a permanent facet of the base. Although I do remember 2 years ago I flew him down here to get the final go-ahead on the shuttle loop. He also was a primary scientist in constructing the ice core facility. He's a, let's see here. He's kind of a lot of things, but he's mainly an engineer.
I think
The main point that I'm getting at here is, so you flew him here, but were you the one to fly him back? Or was that handled by a different division?
You know, I don't remember. It was probably me, though. I'm the one who takes people in and out of this place no matter what.
I have an idea. If it seems that this group's heading towards a marine lab, why don't we follow them from a safe distance? And maybe, just maybe, if they're doing something at the marine lab, perhaps we'll get a opportunity to ambush them and rescue that. I guess in this circumstance, you could call him a POW.
I think, I'm with Psycho on this suggestion here. We should try to see at least what their intentions are. If they're transporting a prisoner, I can't assume it's anything good.
And then you would hear Millie go, please keep eyes on him.
Don't worry, if the opportunity arises, we are currently discussing ways that we could get him back safely.
I'm gonna go tell Dad.
That sounds
Good idea.
something the whole base should know, actually. Yeah, go tell your father.
How many other departures were there around this time, Murphy?
Let's see here. There was a force brought in to construct the tunnels. I flew a lot of people in and out during that time, so I couldn't give you an exact number, but 30 or 40 maybe.
30 to 40. All part of the construction for the tunnel loop?
It was a big project. Sometimes engineers swapped out. It took a full, 2 years to construct. It wasn't the same managing team the whole way through.
Ellistar's just like looking around everyone else, like just to make sure that everyone else is hearing the same things that he is.
Elazar, are you thinking there might be 30 to 40 other prisoners?
Potentially, we've seen him out here, and we saw another one of these containment pods moving in a different direction down by King's Pass.
Look,
What's exactly going on here? What do they want with these people?
one way to find out is we break him the fuck out. Yeah?
I don't think we have the
Yeah.
firepower at the moment.
We have to at least try.
Yeah,
Let's
you want to
follow
let
him
it
with
do
the
whatever the
fences.
hell it's gonna do to him?
No, but do you want to just run in and die?
We'll
No.
just stalk them for now and see if an opportunity appears.
You think I'm that fucking stupid to suggest running in and dying?
I mean, you did walk through the Arctic towards a...
That wasn't my choice.
I know, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Your joke's not funny.
Corporal Allen, if I may interject here, having fewer numbers going in for this, if we do conduct a rescue attempt, having fewer numbers is actually playing into our advantage here. From what Seiko was suggesting, if an opportunity arises, we would be going out and quickly and quietly extracting him, rather than going in all guns blazing, taking them all on at once.
Have you ever seen these things sleep?
Nope.
Are you thinking they're going to do a prisoner transfer with somehow less guards?
And transfer is still an opportunity.
Yes, an opportunity when there are more guards.
Okay.
They're heading
Hey.
towards the marine
Corporal?
lab.
I can do the same thing that we did with the helicopter. I can get us in there close.
With all due fucking
and when the time
respect,
is right,
shut the
pop
fuck
out
up,
quickly,
both of you.
grab him, pull him back in. Yes.
No one flying this goddamn helicopter, and you two arguing is doing no good. We're gonna follow them, okay? If one of you gets a bright idea along the way, shout it out. But enough of this, we have to, we will, we can't. It's fucking bullshit.
Okay, well, here's my bright idea. Do a similar thing as we did with the helicopter to get in close and get information. If they stop moving somewhere around the marine labs, you can land the helicopter a safe distance away, and then enter the fold and go from there. We would be able to get in close without them spotting us, and hopefully be able to extract Mr. King, pull him back into the fold, and return safely.
Your communicator flicks on.
Hey, excuse me? You guys hearing me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Anselo, did Millie's not fibbing. Anselo's out there?
Take a look for yourself. We have scans from, yes, exactly what we saw. You can confirm it.
Okay.
We've seen this thing before out by King's Pass.
I remember.
These containment pods are carrying people.
That's really, really bad. Don't know what it's doing, but I don't fucking like that. Do you think I should head my way up there? Do you need backup? What's the plan, Doc?
Backup would be a smart idea.
Even if we got every combat-capable person around here, I think we might just pull even.
How much backup?
As much as you can muster.
At least one vehicle.
I can bring myself and Camellia, at the very least.
From our experiences, the wild things are about to keep up with the exact pace of those vehicles, but they're not faster than them, which is the important thing.
Anyone in the base besides me have any weapons? Any gunfire training?
There's that weapon Millie was building when we first arrived.
Val has weapon training.
We have an extra gun at all, or?
We unfortunately don't have extra guns, but she can use one if you got one.
What about that weapon that Millie was working on when we first arrived? It was supposed to be like a smart gun?
It wasn't ready, remember?
Do you think...
Nope, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I don't know if that could kill the user more than just the target. It's not ready.
Okay, yeah, no go on the gun, guys.
Those blueprints I sent you, Millie, a few days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like a day or two ago. The A110 Judge. A160 Judge, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Think you could print that out quick and some ammo for it?
It would take time, but I can do that.
Let's just continue following them for now.
Please keep us up to date.
I'll let you know.
We
keep
still
you
don't know
up-to-date.
if they're actually going to be stopping at the marine labs or continuing past the labs to the Macaroni Island.
Or just turning south back to the King's Pass. They could be in a holding pattern. Your mobile prison holding pattern.
I think that if it starts to head out over the water, then we can only assume that it's going to be heading to the Macaroni Island, and we should try to probably reach the island first.
So you would notice that it's slow. Very slow.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take about 30 or so minutes before you get any progress with it. But you do start to come up on the shoreline. In fact, it doesn't seem to be going for the marine lab at all.
Is it heading for Macaroni Island?
It's
roughly?
heading for the shore.
Is it gonna dump him in the ocean?
If it does, we're going to have to be ready.
Perhaps it's heading for the island for whatever reason.
I think we still gotta wait.
How long are you gonna wait? It does stop at the shore. The wild things circle around it. You'll notice the Aurora Australis tied to some of them, and they use it to hop, 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 jump up on top of it. The Aurora unchains, and then you notice the Aurora connect back to the conglomerate. Interesting. This is the first time you've seen it. There are 6 of the Auroras connected to the main thing. So that means with 6 Auroras, it's still going this slowly.
Oh shit, yeah.
And it starts to move again.
Could make it immobile if we take those out, all pretty much.
It starts to float towards the water. And then out over the water. The dog's riding its back, the bird's circling.
We could make the assumption that it's heading to Macaroni Island and race it there, eating it quite handily.
Yeah, there won't be much
But
of a
we would
race.
lose contact with this one, or we could follow it and make sure we keep an eye on him.
If it is heading for the island,
Either way, backup's no longer an option.
Yes, I'll let everyone back at base now.
It's going over the water.
Yes, I don't think driving out here on one of those buggies is going to be much of a help anymore.
God damn it, okay. Have you learned anything else about it?
We know that, because it's moving over the water, it's most likely heading out to the Macaroni Island. Our corporal has also, posited the idea that the Auroras, are being granted to it by the House of Dreams circling it, are the only reason that it's able to move like it does.
Seems to be the only reason it's able to move at any speed at all.
Yes, if we wanted to intercept it...
massively speed up the, where the wild things are. And that was just 1. This one has 6, and it's barely moving over 2 miles per hour.
I think you guys are way faster than it. Why not scout on ahead and then come back? And if it... I mean, it's definitely going to the island, right? Like, that...
There's not really any other places for it to go unless it's going underwater.
Or across the lake, I guess.
In which case, why are the dogs on it for floating?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to be doing what we initially set out to do, which is surveying the Macaroni Island. If we are able to do so, and maybe during that excursion, if we are able to identify a good landing spot, we could go and use the supplies that we have brought with us to set up, I guess an ambush would be a good term to use.
Actually get the drop on them for once. I like that idea.
Yes. This is all operating under the assumptions that Macaroni Island is the destination for this prisoner convoy. It would make sense, as we've gotten, the whole distress signal from the island. If this is where they're taking prisoners, it would make sense that there's something out there.
If there's theoretically no way off the island, it is a perfect spot to put prisoners.
Like an Alcatraz sort of situation.
Yep, except swimming it is an even worse option this time.
Which,
Considering the
if it is a
ice-cold
prison
water.
island for the Frostbitten, approaching it is going to be a tricky task. It is most likely going to be very well defended.
Yeah, we'll take it slow. I can keep at least both in sight. The blizzard's not that bad up here. If we get closer to the island, why don't you keep track on the conglomerate? I think if we try and land, though, we're gonna lose it.
In the distance as you approach, you can still see the conglomerate. It's very slow. But it has made no motion to go under the water, nor has it made a motion to dump trash, as was suggested. As well as you can see, the rift is still there.
It's like with us, it doesn't go away till you remove the thing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be down there to remove the thing.
Do we see Mr. Turkey?
Here, I'll show you what you see. And you get an angle from above, and you can kind of look down. This is what you see. It seems to be... The best word is nesting.
On our crashed boat.
Yep.
This is down.
He's just hanging out cool.
He's just chilling.
Oh my god. Hang on. Wait, what?
For a certain extent, I almost kind of want to remove the thing now, because then all the water will snap shut on top of them down there. Anyway, time to leave. Time to just avoid that.
Fucking bug out.
We'll deal with that another day.
Hey, you know what that means? That's confirmation that at least Mr. Turkey, or at least that Mr. Turkey, isn't going to be on the island.
So, as you get closer to Macaroni Island, the island is sparse, rocky, little bits of ice. There's no defining features. You don't see any, like, buildings or frostbitten or really anything but rocks.
What if we took a look into the fifth?
We plead the fifth.
What if
Zoom
we
in on
saw it
LSR
for what it
space.
really
Wah.
was?
Can we do the thing Seiko was doing?
Yes.
Triangulate where the
Pinpoint
thing
it.
is? Yeah, pinpoint it.
Sure.
If I hold the receiver in whatever direction, if it gets stronger when held in that direction.
This direction.
It's towards the center of the island.
What are they hiding under one of the rocks?
They must be. I don't see anything else out in the open.
Murphy, can you give us a little go around the island?
Yeah,
Just that we can get a 360 point of where it's coming from.
can do.
Do you see any even land on the island that would be safe for a landing point?
We still have the rope ladder in here if we want to just climb down.
You just park it up in the air. We could do that as well.
I can try and land, or I can
Well,
hover. It would be easier to hover.
It would be easier to hover, and it would also be easier to bug out if well, we go down there and we get attacked.
You swing the chopper around. Pretty empty so far. He'll hover it right above the island then.
Can we triangulate again, see if it's pointing any different particular direction?
Yeah, somewhere over that way.
I would like to distribute cats at this time.
Murphy drops down the rope ladder.
It'd be back in a jiffy.
Actually, you don't get down there first.
Okay, it's not a race. We're all going to the same
Ich
spot.
bin die Ersten.
Yeah.
Act 2 is kicking rocks.
Act 2.
Spielst du Fußball?
Yeah.
He's gonna throw a rock at your head.
I instantly just pops up a gateway to the fifth.
Wow.
Mwah. Can I have this be the moment when he like pulls up the fifth and finds like the secret underground facility or some shit?
Oh my god. Yeah, you see something else out of the corner of your eye. On the other side of that rock.
Hey, hang on a second.
Right here.
I just had over there.
There's something on the other side.
Just pop the cat real quick.
Makar is gonna go over here and he's gonna start like looking under rocks.
Still, you see everyone as Elisar quickly hops into the fold, kind of just disappearing.
Oh, there he goes.
He's just gonna go over here and check out whatever the fuck he saw. And yep, fucking getting the fuck out of there. Yeah, he just didn't need to even get a good look at it. He knows that this is
Oh my
bad.
god, look at him. He's so tiny. I love him.
He's so tiny. Fuck that. Yeah, no. He's just going to pop back out of the fold and look over to Encore and be like, hey, you back with the others.
What, did you find something?
Yes, we need to get it off this island right now.
He has a rock in his hand. He found a cool rock.
Back up the ladder, everyone. We can talk about what the hell I just saw up there.
Must do
That's
Fußball.
wonderful.
Maybe later.
Yeah, I'm just gonna trust you on that.
There's some more goop, whatever it is, that same kind of stuff. Just from a glance, it looked a lot like the same sort of matter that the lucky one was comprised of.
Hey Murphy, is the lucky one doing anything up there in you?
I
question.
can't feel it, but I don't think so.
Because Elisar says there's something that looks an awful similar to it down here.
No shit.
I didn't quite get the best look at it. I just saw it was red and had some sort of apparatus. If this is where the signal's coming from, it must be the one sending it out.
Oh, wonderful. So this is another trap?
Essentially.
Lovely.
Which
But
is
it's
why
not-
I'm getting everybody up onto the helicopter pronto. Spending another point.
I actually wonder. It's very intelligent of it. I wonder if it's actually asking for help. I'm not gonna question that right now.
Everyone up.
First of all, let's get everyone out of immediate potential danger. Excuse me
And
if
you
I'm
too,
a little bit
Psycho.
if I'm a little bit flighty after everything we've been through so far.
Seiko's looking over at the rock, contemplating.
You too, Psycho. Get up there.
Larry, could you support me?
We're following the docks lead on this. Get back in the helicopter.
I want to check it out, but
We can check it out later. We have a person to rescue first.
you're right.
Our priorities have shifted a little bit, and we've gotten our answer.
We don't know if it's Frostbitten or if it is the lucky one or if it's one of the good doctors.
Something else
installation.
entirely. You get up here.
What does it look like, Elisar?
I told you it's the same sort of red goopy stuff that
Just
the
red
lucky
goopy
one.
stuff?
It looked, well, red and goopy. I don't know
Nice.
I don't know what more you want from me.
Okay, what's the plan, guys? Are we fucking off?
Yeah, we're fucking off.
Fucking off.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking off. Yeah, we're fucking off.
Reluctantly fucking
I
off.
thought we were setting a trap.
Oh wait,
here
we
for-
were setting a trap. Yeah, sorry. I got so distracted by my overwhelming fear that yeah, I forgot that
We're
we had
setting
a
a
purpose
trap
here.
because we're assuming this is where the
You're setting a
The armory's
trap
coming.
where there's a thing that you wanted
Yes.
to run from on the island. Are you guys fucking stupid?
Yes.
What? At this point, it's the only place to set it, since the thing
No.
is the only other place is over open ocean.
Murphy's right. If we're gonna be setting up anything here, we should probably figure out what the hell this thing is first. It could, well, be sending them some
How
sort of
much you want to
transmission.
bet it's gonna try and kill you as soon as you touch it?
100%.
It didn't look like it had anything to fight back with. It's just kind of defensively
think-
sitting there.
I look at it like from what you're describing. It's just a massive goop, yes?
It's a massive goop, and there's some sort of metal apparatus attached to it.
Oh,
It didn't look very sturdy, so if you want, you can take us around to the other side of the island, and we can get a safe vantage point to study it a little further. Maybe get some analysis from our scouters going on it.
Yeah, let's see what the kid makes of it. Yeah. Does kind of look like the goop. No hands, though. Ugh.
Just eyes. The lucky one didn't have eyes.
Lucky one did not have eyes.
What if it's just what's left of whoever was here? Mixed
The
with.
If it's
Lucky one,
whatever's
anyway.
left of who was here,
not
then it would
Mark.
stop sending a signal, right?
Well, that's just...
You're transmitting what to Millie?
Wifey.
Zoom in pictures.
That's not completely ridiculous. It could be using the remains of whoever this was as an energy source. And that's just wild speculation.
Excuse me, Lucy? What are you sending
Yes,
me
Millie?
now? What is that?
Well, we found the source of the broadcast, we believe. It appears to be some red goop similar to Lucky One. It's got what looks like a broadcast thing coming out of it. It's not my forte, but I trust others saying so.
Seiko, correct me if I'm wrong, but for a signal to be reaching out that far during a snowstorm, wouldn't it need to be a much taller tower?
Not necessarily. I mean, your cell phone still works in a blizzard. It could be more so a matter of it just has to have an adequate power source. Hey, Tali? I want to zoom in on the eyes. Are those human eyes, fish eyes, or some other animal kind of eyes?
They're staring at you.
Do they look human or animal?
Give me a brains roll. Here's the thing. They don't really look like either. But if you had to say one over the other, it's definitely closer to human.
It's never a good sign when you ask if the eyes look human or animal, and the answer is neither. That's like the answer you don't want.
What kind of look are the eyes giving me? Is there like an angry look or like a
You
help
can't
me
gauge
look?
emotion off of this thing. There's no human features on it. They're just looking at you.
Well, whatever it is, it certainly sees us now. I'm glad I had the good sense to dive into the fold real quick to see what it was.
Random question. Has the signal changed?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
It's a good question, yes.
Yeah, the signal's changed. It's a lot faster.
Hearing that it's gotten faster, Larry's first thought is to check the rift if that's anything's changed there, like it's signaling for help from the nearby nest, or to see if the convoy has changed direction.
As I listen, Tali, is it the same message? Or can I use my trait to try to translate it?
Yeah, Amy, I'm gonna message you what it says.
Everyone would just see Seiko just staring intently at this thing. You see her eyes go wide, and then sad. Larry?
Hmm?
Shoot it.
What's it saying?
It's the same thing. Over and over again. And she looks at you with a tear in her eye. Kill me, please. Those eyes are almost human.
Wait,
Wonder if this will impede the oncoming envoy.
Guys,
maybe just let them
Yes,
know that we're
ma'am?
here.
I've got
I
some
don't know.
scouter information for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as the lucky one. I don't know if that helps you, but I heard that theory. It's not.
I see. Ooh, I'm trying my best to figure out an exact monologue for this thing.
This
Yeah,
was...
before...
I'm so interested.
I have one. I think I have one.
Oh, it's Psycho to the monologue then.
This was once a human, but their flesh was repurposed by some kind of entity to power and control this beacon for whatever purpose. Possibly from that group of 40.
I want you to specify. That's a monologue about multiple things. I'm gonna need you to be more specific.
This
This-
was human.
This entity was human and was put here to control this radio beacon.
Nope, stop. Was human is one thing. Is put here to control the radio beacon is another thing. You get one.
This thing was human.
Okay. And this is unopposed. Seiko,
Yeah?
I'm getting something on the scouter that you might want to Here.
Alright?
I don't know what to make of this. My first thoughts was that it was imitating human speech. That it was trying to draw us out here. That it was trying to trap us. Another thought crossed my mind that it was why we couldn't contact the external bases, that it was some sort of signal jammer. But that's also not true. I don't know how to classify it. Because I don't know if it's a frostbitten or if it's something else. So, we'll just say this. You hear her audibly swallow. Frostbitten class. Ambiguous. Designation. The beginning.
What do you got there? Want your painting? Yes, it's a work that I'm rather fond of. A good piece of abstract painting, don't you think? Yeah. It's,
Oh, this is cool.
It has some potential to see.
Ah, this is nice. This is good.
certainly got a lot of color. No
I
doubt
love
about
this
that.
art so much. It's so cool.
What does it represent? It's a picture. An independent.
Uh-oh.
What is uh-oh?
It's called The Beginning. I don't think we should kill this.
It's just that I'm sort of.
This could very easily be some sort of posthumous ability. And usually when you come across a posthumous ability, you don't want to kill it.
But at the
I'm
same
just speaking
time,
purely above board. You can make whatever choices in character that you want. I'm just warning
since
everyone
it
that
was
those are my thoughts right
human,
now.
it's asking to be killed. My first thought is it's still somewhat sentient, no matter what's become of it, and it is communicating through radio waves, and it does not want to exist.
But why was it put here?
That is a question Larry would ask, but would honor the request of a fallen person just to die with some form of honor than be tortured by some unknown entity in that form.
Yeah, if all hell breaks loose because of this, I won't blame you at all.
Then I'll begin.
What do you got there?
Perhaps we
Want your
keep
painting?
it
Yes.
until we
work
figure
that I'm
out the
rather fond
envoy
of.
situation.
A good piece of abstract
As
painting,
much as
don't you
that
think?
bothers me from an ethical standpoint, yes, I think there's still more that we should consider here.
Question, Psycho, does your radio also transmit, or is it just a receiver?
Would I realistically know if I could transmit to it as well?
Certainly got a lot of color.
I think you're
Same
smart
with
enough to
same-
be able to do
No
that.
doubt about that. What does it
Yeah.
represent? It's a picture.
I can take these two wires and I can tap them together if we want to respond in Morse.
Can figure out something. Should we ask it?
Don't say it, say them, please.
You got a name?
That's a good one. I'm gonna tap out. Do you have a name?
Wait, did
No,
you
you-
have?
I called you hard.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. That's
Got-
amazing.
Want me to roll the translate?
Yes, please. Here you go, Amy.
Oh. Hey. Millie,
Yeah?
Issa was in charge of the penguins of Macaroni Island, right?
My dad?
What do you got there?
The guy before
Want your
him. What was his name?
Yes, it's
Oh.
a work that I'm rather fond of.
You mean Echelon
A
Hexaplate?
good piece of abstract
Yeah.
painting, don't you think?
Hey, Millie, I'm going to hang up for just a little bit.
It's,
Okay? What? Huh? Why?
Don't worry about it. I click it off
it's
and look at the others.
Certainly certainly got a lot of
Remember
color.
when that transmission said
No doubt about that.
there were no survivors?
What does it represent? It's a picture.
What? Is it telling you that it's one of our peers back at base?
Echelon.
ESO.
It's an ESO?
Its name is ESO.
Huh? You mean
Have
like
any
this is
other brothers
another...
we don't, or family we don't know about?
Their name is ESO. Let me try this. Like the director, I will go ahead and make
It's
the
really
roll.
quick. It changes to something and then it's back to. So make me a roll, please.
This is so fucking freaky. Oh
I love
god. this
It
is so
repeated
freaky.
it twice. It's like it was very, very quick for some reason. But you caught it.
This is
What do you got there? One of your paintings?
yes.
Yes, it's a work that I'm rather fond
He
of.
answered yes.
A good piece of abstract painting, don't you think?
Hey, Millie, do you have any other uncles or aunts that ever showed up down here?
Oh, what? Uncles and aunts. Other than...
Remarkable.
Other than
Certainly got a lot of
the
color.
one we were keeping an eye on.
No doubt about that.
My
And the convoy.
grandmom came down here for a bit to visit. My father came down to visit for a little bit.
Your Bliss's mom?
Yeah, Bliss's mom. Right. And then... Oh, I realized that could be confusing. I have two dads.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you guys hang up on me? What's going on?
I looked to everyone else before saying anything. Kind of looking for any.
Millie, can
Persuasion
you
right now.
hand the communicator to Bliss and walk out of the room, please?
Roll me brains, Larry.
I got a 4. I have good brains.
Why should I do that?
I need to tell him something.
And I
Something I don't think
can't
you're gonna
hear
like.
it? How am I supposed to help if I can't hear what you're telling him?
He'll tell you when he feels you need to know.
Can I, pardon me for a second here. Billy,
One of your paintings?
we're still in the
Yes,
process of
it's a
figuring
work
things
that I'm
out
rather
right now,
fond
and we
of.
don't want to tell you anything that's
A good piece of
potentially
abstract
upsetting
painting,
until
don't you
we
think?
know for sure what the situation is. In case we get something wrong, we wouldn't want to put that emotional stress on you for no reason.
Oh. I suppose that makes sense.
Remarkable.
Okay.
Got a lot of color.
Mirror movement.
What does it represent? It's a
Hello?
Hi.
So, what's going on?
We
We
found what.
found what was delivering the message.
Was it a
The
person?
remains of some person. We figured we might as well respond over the channel with Morse code and ask them who they were.
Uh-huh.
They said ESO.
Uh-huh.
Besides your brother, the only other ESO that's appeared on the down here, according to Millie, is your mom.
Yeah. My dad's never been down here. My mom came down once because she wanted to see the penguins.
Well, she's still can see the penguins. Can't do much else.
What do you mean by that?
What our corporal is doing right now is jumping to conclusions. We still haven't confirmed that these remains are who they claim to be. There are tests that we can run to make sure.
Yes, it's a work that I'm
What we
rather
know
fond
is that
of.
it's sentient.
A
We've
good
been
piece of
telling it
abstract
through
painting,
Morse.
don't you
It
think?
wants us to kill them,
Yeah,
and their name is ESO.
it's,
Okay.
Kill or retrieve. What's the order?
oh.
Well, whatever happens, I'm going to suggest that we kill it. Allowing this thing to continue to live is just beyond unethical. But we should still try to get a sample.
I'm with the doctor. I think you should kill it. It went through that much trouble to contact us just to die. I think you should kill it.
Echo, can you send one last message for me? Do it.
Yeah, I can.
Rest peacefully.
Shouldn't we confirm if it is the grandmother and not something more
We'll get
nefarious?
the DNA after we kill it.
Alright, so we can do these tests
well.
on our own.
I'll say, request granted. Rest in peace.
Entitled it, thank you.
This one's easy to translate. It's very slow this time.
Murphy, take us down.
You'll fly the helicopter down so that the ladder can drop off right here.
What do you got there?
He just kind of looks back at you and just
Yes, it's
holds onto his hat, kind of like he is in the portrait, and just
Good
goes,
piece of abstract painting, don't you think?
You sure about this?
We're sure about one thing, Murphy, is that we need to accept this request and deal with the repercussions afterwards.
Alright.
This is gonna go down as well. He's gonna bring with him baggie, petri dish, tweezers, anything that he needs to collect a sample afterwards.
Bang.
Oh my god.
I'm leaving flowers on her grave. Anyway.
the shotgun explodes out,
Oh.
blasting into the flesh, poking holes all over it, bending the antenna. For a second, it's silent. Just the water lapping at the side of the island.
You knew it. You knew it.
Roll.
It's the same message. Kill me, please. Larry, the eye blinks and looks up to you.
Oh, fuck you.
Do it.
Oh, that would be too cruel. It's still alive.
This guy would stab it through the eye.
Roll me power. You stab it through the eye, blood splatters the white snow, creating flecks of red.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have anything flammable? Maybe fire. Maybe we can kill it with fire.
So you might want to gather your sample now. I think we might have to destroy it entirely before it dies.
Take a sample of, well, there's bits of it all over the place, I guess. Yeah, he'll lean down and with the tweezers, grab up a bit, place it within the petri dish, and then seal it within the bag.
You also might want to get back up on the helicopter. This is about to get a little... I'm gonna have to get a little creative.
A little, okay.
And you don't want to be in the blast zone. You guys are gonna see Act 2 here do a bit of running. He's not building as much, electricity around him, but there seems to be less snow for some reason. And then Larry touches the match and shields his face, and there's a fucking massive fireball.
Can you roll me 66, please?
Whee! 22.
As you see it, amidst the
Word.
crackling flames, the flesh dripping now as it becomes more of a liquid state. Off the edge of the antenna. Eventually you notice as the thing just kind of heaves and crashes over in the flames. And as the fire engulfs it, a dark cloud of smoke just starts to come up.
I checked the radio. Is it still transmitting?
Static.
You got him, Larry.
Alright, we setting up that trap now, or what?
So is just gonna look back in the direction of the convoy?
Mm-hmm.
How much time have we spent here? They getting close?
It's definitely getting close.
Whatever we wish to set up in preparation, we should set it up now. They've almost arrived. I had a theory that perhaps whoever this was placed here as a sort of waypoint to communicate to the Frostbitten, to sort of guide them across the wastes.
Like a lighthouse.
Yes, if we set up our ambush between these rocks here, maybe we would be able to catch them as they pass through. If we try setting it up out in the open,
we don't want to fight, we can hopefully, if they intend to drop him on the island, we can try to scoop him up fast from airborne helicopter using soldier and spin and just yeet him into the helicopter, yeet ourselves into the 5th and get out of there fast.
Yes.
No mess, no fuss.
That sounds good. Perhaps, if we want, we can get two
Drop out
teams
of the
down
5th,
here.
grab him out, drop him back into the 5th.
Yes, we could get two teams down here into the 5th. And depending on exactly what they do upon their arrival, we can just go from there.
I'm not sure we want to just leave someone in the 5th here in case things go poorly. I think we want to all be on the helicopter.
I would probably like to be a part of the extraction team.
Yes, I think you'd be a great help.
I think Encore might be our best bets of getting him out aside from the 5th. I got a cat. I'm powerful.
Well, I have an idea as well. It'll take a little bit of maneuvering from Murphy. By the way, can you hear me over the communicators? We're just discussing the plan like right here.
I gotcha.
I was thinking that perhaps once we get everyone down here in a position, you could swing the helicopter wide, go out a little bit further off into the lake, just to make it seem like we've conducted our business here and are leaving. That way, they won't be on guard once they actually arrive. As I'm sure they've seen and taken into account our helicopter.
I can do that.
If they just see it parked up there, they'll know that we'll be waiting.
Yeah.
Guys, I just had a thought that scares me. So they brought Yuzo out here, did that to them. If they're bringing someone else out here, what if they're about to do the same to them?
And we'll interrupt the process and extract him.
We can't lose this fight. We have to succeed, or... Well, you've seen what could possibly happen if we don't. And... If that ever happens to me, please do me the same service.
Very well. We don't have much time. Whoever else has brought supplies with them, I request that you join us down here. I'm going to be, building some sort of barricades, just in case things go awry, and then tucking them into the fold. If we need them on short notice, I'll be able to bring them out, and, well, we can have them there to use.
Got another dumb idea for why Murphy can drop out of the 5th. Why we can have Murphy dropping out of the 5th. Ever heard of a blender taking out a bunch of birds?
Oh, I can assist with that.
Corporal,
idea.
I don't mean to be a naysayer, but you remember what happened when we last tried to hit a bunch of Frostbitten with a vehicle?
It went pretty well.
They got in.
Doing pretty well.
All right, Elisar, I want to real quick
All
ask.
things considered, it went pretty well.
I'm just gonna say that I'm just gonna be shoving them into the fold.
To these, I would need you to use 2 scraps. So how much are you using?
Lucy can offer 2 scrap.
Toss
I'm
that
using
down.
all 3 of my scrap for something else entirely.
Gotcha.
Hello, Haman bandages.
Fuck yeah, all right.
I look over at the cloud. Is the cloud smoke still there?
Yes.
What's it doing?
Oh,
Is it
what's
smoking,
it
or
doing?
is it
Interesting. Give me a brains roll.
Oh shit.
Is it doing anything? Is it acting like smoke should, or is it acting?
It's just
different?
being blown away in the wind.
Is there any wreckage of the electronics left?
Yeah,
I would like.
they would have been slagged pretty hard, but you can scrap them. Give me a scrap roll.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What
I'm
was the roll
putting
for scrap
grandma
again?
in my backpack. I'm putting grandma.
It's just a brain.
It's just a brains,
Brains
yeah.
roll.
Wow, that's a lot of
A
grandma.
lot of grandma, indeed. So you won by 5.
Dude, Grandma's been holding
That's
down
a
on
great
us.
success, so take 5 scrap.
Yo, it's grandma's inheritance.
Shut the fuck up. 5 scrap, 5 scrap. In the distance, you will see the conglomerate approaching over the water.
All right. Is this everybody?
So are we waiting behind barricades here, or are we here or in the 5th?
I'm tucking those away into the fold. They won't suspect a thing. And when we're ready to conduct our ambush, Murphy, if you want to start pulling away, make it look like you're leaving, I can also send you into the 5th, and then you can pull back around and get in position for extraction.
Works for me. Lucy, you staying up here for drop bombs?
I will be alongside air support. I don't think leaving you alone in this situation would be a great thing, so me and Num will stay up here with you.
Glad someone thought it. Jeez. All right.
I want to help you later. I was gonna do it on the way back, but Jesus Christ, all this has happened.
Huh?
They won't suspect.
I have plans for you later, don't worry.
That's ominous as fuck.
I hope it's
I
just the
have
IV
plans
drip thing
for
that you
you.
mentioned. Okay, I'm tucking them away into the 5th, as well
All
as
right.
everyone else in the barricades.
I'm gonna need a precision roll.
So
Tali,
much for the chill episode.
Well,
why you hit my emotions like this?
because it's my job.
If you need to be taken out of the fold or go back in, just let me know, and I can get that set up for you.
It floats up to right about here. You will notice that the spinning cage, for lack of a better term, slowly, gently rests its bottom half onto the island. And the 3 wild things jump down, like such. And the cage goes open. Just flips up like it's on a hinge.
Alright, Elisar is going to take this opportunity, while there's a lot of noise, to try to move in a little bit closer. I'll look back to Corporal. Is there any signs of what he's up to? Before just...
You see Corporal just has his gun leveled on the whole area and just nods to you.
Yeah, what he's doing right now is he wants to make sure that he can very quickly run in, pull him back into the fold. I think that'll be good.
Okay. You'll notice one of the wild things jumps into the cage, gets underneath Anselar's back, lifts him up, and shoves him out. And they all sort of catch hold of him. All 3 dogs.
Just gotta wait a moment longer. We can
And
carry
they're gonna start walking directly towards where you are.
Alright.
Basically just right
This
at you.
actually works because I just have to wait here, and once they're on top of me, I can just pop the barricade out, pop myself out, drag Ansler in.
Okay!
Let's go time!
Give me a speed roll!
Penguin!
Yeah, Encore's gonna jump with Elisar.
By just having fucking Act 2 just bum rush the back one and just slam him into the barricade and off.
Now that would help. So Act 2 is able to zip in, knocking this one out immediately.
Act 2's going with him.
German wrestling, yeah.
German wrestling. Okay! Elisar, you pop
I
out.
tried.
It seems that their instincts had sensed something was weird about this. You do vaguely remember, oh yeah, Millie said they can sense people through walls and like stuff.
Yeah.
And they land on either side of you, Elisar.
Oh dear. Alright, do we want to do initiative?
Looks like we're gonna need to. Its turn is first. So the cage wraps back around Encelor's body and pulls him back in.
Alright, it's mini boss time.
As well as you notice its 3 arms rotating around it with this type of mechanical sound. They seem like they're holding gyroscopes. Interesting. As the arms start spinning pretty quickly.
How are their individual token?
I fucking hate spin users.
Hey. Fuck you too, Corporal.
The arms are going to start like rotating around the body to different positions. One goes up to stay down, as well as the 2 wild things are going to dive towards Elisar.
Okay. Durability yet? Use the fold to just a very minor misdirection and ever so slightly influence the course so that they just so that Elisar would basically thread the needle between them.
Okay, yeah.
Matrix them.
The one that is currently on Act 2 kicks back up, whirls its
can't
tail
access
around.
Act 2.
And I'm gonna make a brains roll. Elisar, can you make me a precision roll real quick?
Another one?
Yeah. It sniffs around. It jumps up on the rock. Seiko, your heart just like skips a beat. It's looking around. And then it looks down at the scorch mark. It turns and it lets out a doing, 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 doing sound effect back in that direction towards the conglomerate.
I guess just stay on extraction, ready for extraction. We may have to just start grabbing people as soon as we get Ancillor.
Try to stay within 60 feet of me. I'll use Act 2 to get them up to you.
Copy.
Alright.
Ruby's just gonna keep hovering.
There is no barrier, artificial or natural, that is too great for my abilities. It's going to enter the 5th.
Alright.
He's going to use the 5th to basically just no clip through the barrier. He's going to try to use it to get underneath this thing. Pop out of the fold, and then from the bottom, see if he can get up in there and try to get Ancillor out.
Okay, give me a precision roll.
Resolve.
Yeah, there goes another one of my resolves, you guys.
Oh
my God!
Jesus Christ, every time.
The Lord of Resolve!
Elisar, as you
About to
let
be
out
it.
this, there's no barrier that can get in my way. You look up at it and this fucking thing thinks it's so smart. You see right through what it's doing. It's central chamber. Oh, okay. It's moving the arms around. They're not to get into a better position. No, it's moving them around to mask the fact that the center is spinning as well. But you see right through that bullshit, and you're able to use the 5th to pinpoint a weakness and jump right up into the containment.
Like a kid in a washing machine. Oh, whoa! Sonic was right, this wasn't fun. I've successfully imprisoned myself. Good luck, you guys. Oh, I could have monologued as a fucking spin user. Hang on, hold your horses.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could.
Yeah. Oh, good lord. Oh, Jesus. Oh, yes, this is definitely the surefire side that this thing is also an adept spin user.
You are correct. It currently has a bizarre field of 4.
Oh,
That's a big field.
it's not that bad.
Yeah, probably that bird. Want to make sure it can't leave. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck that bird up.
All right.
There we are.
Cleanly take its head off. It plummets into the snow.
Encore, looking at the Doge in front of him. Decisions. Bird is going to grab the inside of this barricade, like the top part, and is going to swing his legs upward to just up air this bird.
It sure do explode.
Hey.
and you land down on the gyroscope and whoa, that's moving weird. Encore, you start spinning. For Lucy's reference, you're spinning counterclockwise.
Oh, that's good to know. Oh, I feel sick. I hope Encore gets off that soon.
Get off this crazy ride.
Lucy's going to charge a spin.
Okay, Seiko.
Can I attack while in the fold?
Yep. Take her out of the fold, probably?
Yeah.
A certain gamble cat sneaks up the rock, emerges from her fold, and fucking clocks the dog.
Okay. You crack it in the head. It slides down. It slips back up. It scrambles.
Yeah, I don't think so. Fuck you.
Uh-huh.
Elisar.
Or birds.
You guys are very much in the center of this metal cage.
Now I know what it's like to be in a centrifuge.
This metal cage. Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, I guess everyone outside would see as a bird molecularizes right above the conglomerate. As the lightning bolt strikes the cage.
Yeah, I'm going to focus on getting Ancillor out of there first thing first. Just hoping that the lightning bolt is going to get absorbed by the top of this guy. I'll be fine.
And there is something I would like to clarify. You would be dropping him into snow. Snow doesn't really conduct electricity. So that would help.
Thank you.
It doesn't conduct electricity. Okay, so I was completely wrong. I'll be spending the friendly bizarre field point to add a +6. If anybody wants to attempt a monologue about my ability, now would be the time.
Crazy doctor stretching dimensions again. Let's hope it works.
I really like your use of the word stretching, because that's almost exactly what I had in mind.
Okay.
It's how you described it the first one, where the things like fractal come out but don't disappear.
That sounds like I might have needed it.
Escalation.
Oh my god! This guy just nat 20'd on me.
Yeah, he did! I was looking at that roll like, there's no way you're beating this.
So you got a +11. 3d6
Yeah.
+11.
This is gonna be my last resolve point, you guys, so hoping for the best.
So that means you're out of resolve? Oh, okay, good to know.
I want to initiate a retreat,
soon as you're
and
out.
Murphy's turn is next.
Yeah.
Looking for approval? Going
Yeah,
twice?
why did you
Sounds
get
like a
out?
good-
Provided
I have
you
a
get
I have a
out.
thing I can do.
I
with
get
Murphy
out.
and-
Oh god, don't say that.
This is the day that Ellis
Rerolling the 1 and the 2.
Okay,
Now's a good time to drop red flag if you have it.
okay. Elisar, you start to try and find the point at which to fold and stretch and open an opening in this thing as it's spinning, as a lightning bolt's coming in, as you're dizzy. It's not easy. And at first, as you try and open it, the metal stretches in a really bizarre way, unveiling pulsing red flesh underneath. You quickly close that up, though, opening another hole and dropping Ancillor down into the snow.
Hey, sorry, wrong room. I should have knocked first. Am I still gonna take the damage from the lightning bolt?
You're gonna need to roll bronze, yes.
So yeah, beast mode is a free action that I could take. That's the best
That's
possible
actually one of the
outcome.
best outcomes you could have gotten. Okay, you brace for the impact and just... Oh, that felt really nasty. Seems like it insulated the most of it.
My brain!
Device is gonna roll this. Okay, yeah, it takes no damage. You take 1. Also, Elisar, the cabin you're in starts spinning quicker.
Oh god. It's charging up something fierce.
Oh wait, he's stuck in there for 3 turns because he didn't drop out himself.
And
I'm gonna describe this from Lucy's perspective because this seems fun. The 3 arms are going to coalesce directly above it. Arm on the left is going to tap the arm in the center, and the arm on the right is going to tap the arm in the center.
oh no.
Lucy, you see a burst of golden light.
Lucy's eyes just widen and go and like get down.
It then pulls back the arm and whips the gyroscope at Rolling Girl.
Why
Oh.
Why?
You're the one I can see.
Rolling Girl to try to catch it and throw it back.
It's golden.
Oh, no.
You
Yeah,
can't
so,
catch anything.
Yeah, so, Lucy, if you want to real quick radio to Seiko and tell her what that means.
Seiko, you have to dodge. There is no... Not even Numb can stop that. You have to dodge. I've only seen this once before. That is pure energy. You can't grab it. Run.
Yeah, Rolling Girl gonna do the only thing she can do and try to jump behind the rock.
So, Seiko,
Yeah?
it's like you're trying to dive down and dodge a bullet once you've already seen it fired. The gyroscope blasts off in this direction, shearing directly through Rolling Girl with the pointed side of its metal carriage. You're gonna take 19 damage. Do you have the resolve to stop that? Otherwise, I'm going to roll
Not
this
that.
back and make it save your mechanics.
Yeah, I have full resolve. I can...
Need to spend at least
Yeah.
2.
Yes! 3!
Poor fucking Amy this entire game.
How much resolve are you at, AB?
That'll leave, I had 4, this will leave me at 1.
Okay, good to know.
You wanna join me inside this guy? It's probably safest in here.
But
Like a fucking rocket, you watch as this lets out vapor trails and just... It's fucking gone.
Seiko, are you alive?
Ow!
Oh, thank God.
What? Why you did always me?
The arms.
And this is why
went
I say
down.
we leave the kid at the base.
Why is it always me?
It's almost like you put yourself on a pedestal in my sightline. Rolling Girl, I'm really sorry. It's gonna bite you. It's not gonna just not.
Can I do
Jumping down
counter
on top of you, judo throw it in the ocean.
Yeah, I would like to do exactly that.
Chuck it into the ocean. It just makes a splash as it goes under. You can take another one, right, Duncan?
As long as Ansler doesn't have to, yeah.
He's not in anymore, so you can take another one, right?
He's in the safest spot right now.
Ooh, nice.
Wait.
Smoke.
No.
You scream at the lightning bolt. It doesn't hurt you.
Wait a minute.
This one's gonna jump at Act 2, and this one's gonna back it up.
Fucking run.
Okay, give me speed. You do a run.
Here's the problem. We can't initiate a retreat because the only way out is at the 5th. And the person who could get us into the 5th is not
currently
around for 3
crazy.
turns.
Just can't use this ability right now.
Wait a minute, does that mean that Lucy and Murphy are stuck in the 5th?
Yes.
Yes. Are you going to attack the metal casing that is spinning you?
Why would I piss it off? Oh yeah, because I'm bird brain right now. That's why.
Bird rabies.
You're in a cage, Elisar!
I don't want to be in a cage. I want to be free. I'm gonna
Fred, your bird
gonna start. Can I squeeze through the bars? Am I small enough?
Wait, you are pretty small! Roll bronze to squeeze through the bars.
I'm gonna squeeze my way out like a wet fish.
That's hilarious. You guys all notice Elisar just pops out.
I peck the ground a little bit, look around.
Ansler on the ground, Family Guy death pose.
I walk over and I start pecking at like his shirt collar.
Shit.
Okay, cool, glad everything's okay between those two.
Yup. We grab my boys, and we gotta go.
Okay.
Removing us from
Behind this
safety,
rock.
putting us behind a rock.
It's gonna try and grab you as you go.
I am fast.
With its large arm.
So fast.
As Act 2 is starting to zip away.
Oh my god.
It pincers his head. It just holds him there.
Wait.
I amplify and get a +5.
That's not a bad idea, but I just had the most amazing like image pop in my brain where I did my stand reveal as Bird Brain Elisar.
Are you gonna interrupt this bird brain Ellis?
Yeah, I could fucking flipper slap that bitch away.
Oh my god!
Okay. Does that sound good to you?
I literally don't have the eye catch made, but I can go make it real quick.
Don't worry about it, because this is just gonna be a shit post and I can do the proper reveal later.
Did you know that it's males that take care of the egg first so that the females can go hunt during
Just sharing fun facts with Murphy while waiting for Ellis.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't know about that. What's he doing? As you see Elisar running to kick the arm.
bigger than his range? We know that there's a pocket dimension, but it's like that.
He keeps calling it the
dimension is-
fifth. What's up with that?
It could be that he's talking about the fifth dimension. Is he just bending and shredding and moving between the spaces by hopping into the fifth and then out?
Is that your monologue?
Oh,
I mean,
Sure.
it's like a. What's the term? It's like a sub-dimension.
Not a fifth
I know it has to
dimension,
do
but
with
a fifth something else.
I plead the fifth. This is so.
You could have Millie translate for me. Translate from
I could
Penguin.
translate from Penguin.
As Soldier, Ancillor, and Elisar in either arm dashes away, but falters slightly, not quite fast enough, as his arm comes careening behind them, trailing them, about to catch them. You will see Elisar leap up and spin around, a blur of flippers and feathers and talons. 1 slap. 2 slap. Then he slaps with a 3rd flipper? As you watch as he batters back the arm, seemingly unfolding, unwinding up before you into something far less penguin looking, somewhat humanoid, a swirling mass of almost like a living fractal as he batters back the attempts to stop our escape. And from within this swirling, this eldritch mass of flesh, beak and feathers, you hear, "Ah!"
Fuck off.
Guys, I think my scouter's picking something else up. For some reason, it's translating sound waves. I'm getting what Elisar's saying. So, do with this as you will, cause I don't know, he's just screaming about the 5th wall or something like that.
Excuse me?
As wham! You kick the arm away, allowing Ancillor and Act 2 to zip on by.
We're going behind the rock.
As he lands, he kind of like everything just refolds into itself. Basically, he stands there defiantly. Ah!
All 3 of the arms start to rotate down to address you more directly, Elisar. Larry, you hear something behind you. Sounds like water. Like a waterfall?
Oh.
They're here.
Or more accurately,
Oh.
something coming back in an arc.
Son of a bitch!
It's gonna go like such. And just,
All right.
it catches it.
Do we need to dodge?
It's gonna basically tear through this barricade, so I'm gonna say, Larry, the barricade's getting blasted.
I would duck into this little recess back in the rock back here to try to get out of the way of the thing and keep from getting hit by shrapnel. And gonna get Ancillor back behind the rock.
Yeah, you only take 1 damage as the barricade is blasted through.
Okay. Psycho over here.
Yep.
Alright, Elisar, you can take us out of the 5th now. We can come grab you. What? Are you in pain? Are you okay? What's going on?
I think he's gone native again.
Sometimes when the stress is too much to handle, he can't. You gotta get him out of there,
See.
Lucifer.
How do I get out of here? He looks around the fifth.
That's a great question. I don't fully understand how it works.
Well, I guess it's up to Encore. Don't worry, I'm great with people.
Oh no.
Encore, grab a penguin.
I need you to put me in your mouth.
Encore is going to walk up to Elisar. Alright, buddy, I got you. Let's go. He's going to attempt to pick up Elisar like a cardboard cutout.
Okay. Elisar fights back.
Wonderful. I'm trying to. Elisar, what's going on? Wait, I got it. You got some grander plan. Okay, I got it. What do you need me to do?
Just slap him in the face.
God damn
You know what? You're right. I was feeling kind of queasy from that. I gotta steady myself.
Back fuck. Get the back fuck on your feet.
You're a smart man. I trust you. I'll cover you.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's do that.
Encore is going to trust you that you have some grandiose plan, and it's going to
Beautiful.
command grab this. Is gonna Ganon side B this bird into the ground.
All right.
Don't worry, I trust you with my life. As Encore is just ready, he readies himself. Lucy's over there like, oh god, he might die.
I think Encore's... I think I should go help.
Yeah, I think I can. You know what?
They can't see
know-
you,
know
right?
what?
We should be fine.
Yeah, Numb's technically also in the fifth, I should
Okay,
say.
Tali, can't
Only
stand
Encore
go through
drops
it, though.
out. Oh, can they?
Yep, they
Oh,
can.
Good to know.
I can feel how to get out of the fifth. I think it's a little bit like unsummoning.
All right.
I should be able to get back in now that I know my way up to you.
Yep, I trust you. I'll take care of Murphy. You don't have any other choice, though.
Please.
Numb is going to fall and skydive.
Wee.
Yeah, we.
Need some help?
Good. Hey, sis. Yes, we're here to back up Elisar. He's got some grand scheme or something.
His scheme is genius. He actually told part of it to me and Lucifer earlier. He said that we're supposed to bring him to the helicopter when he starts screaming. She bold-faced lies.
That makes perfect sense. Oh, I see, because you wanted me to dive in there because I wasn't part of that plan. I was a part of the main plan.
Yes, if we told you, you would have done something different.
Encore,
a genius.
you see Elisar wink at you, but maybe it's not a wink. Maybe he's just blinking one eye at a time. You can't quite tell.
You know what? I got you. Encore, shuts off his one eye and it comes back as a blink. As a wink back at him. Alright, cool. I guess I'll cover you. And Numb's gonna come by and use her ability to pick up Elisar, not like an actual cardboard cutout.
Sounds good. Come here, you. We're going home.
Alright, Marbles, it's just me and you.
I got enough of this shit. I'm gonna fucking book it for the others.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because those Frostbitten are gonna be moving next turn and they're gonna fuck us up.
Good work, Elisar! You the bird! Man! Sorry, man.
Elisar wakes up, we're in trouble.
The gyroscopes start to recenter. Encore, the one above you is spinning a lot slower.
Oh, you're going easy on me, I see.
As it starts to bring all three arms down on you.
It's gonna cut you like a pizza.
Alright, Marbles, me and you. Marbles jumps on his head. Reach, he's just gonna do the superhero hold both back with both of his arms.
Okay.
So cool.
As his arms flash.
Oh, hell yeah.
Alright, let's go!
Encore, you and Marbles just holding back as these basically buzzsaws of gyroscopes are pushing at you. You are gonna take 6 damage. The wild things. One jumps up onto the rock, the other jumps up onto the barricade. They're gonna launch icicles from their tails at Elisar and Numb.
I got the hype man, correct?
You sure do.
to
What do you
guard
mean?
against that.
I look at Numb. What do you mean?
Oh, you're right. I can't. I'm being held in place.
Yep. A fucking Street Fighter just palm slap them out of the air.
Yeah, you guys fly over. He drops the ladder down.
Ah!
Getting hit by one of those spinny things is gonna be a problem. Slapping a bird.
Mm-hmm.
As he's pushing these things back, he's going to look back up at the thing and he's going to smile. He's going to be like, "Hey, thanks for the ride, by the way." As instead of holding it back, he instead moves his hand into like a holding a cup upwards formation. As he's going to latch onto the one spinning here, and he's going to use it to jettison himself up here into the air.
Okay. Oh my goodness. That can get us killed. He just keeps going.
Oh yeah, I still have this. As he takes a rock that he got from earlier out of his mouth, he's going to use his ability on the rock and go, "All right, doggy, fetch."
Doggy goes flying with a rock. Just
Holding his hand above to like looking in the distance. "Oh wow, I've gotten a lot better with this." As he starts falling to the ground, just face plants in the snow. He gets up, brushes up the snow. "All right, cool. Oh hey sis.
hello.
When you're ready, or I guess when Lucy comes back."
I can sort of sense him. He should be up there. Try it. Extend your senses. I believe you can feel into the fifth too.
Encore's eye moves from like the left to the right like a loading bar. Oh yeah, he's somewhere in that general direction. He points like this direction.
Close enough.
Cool. Ooh, I know what I can do. Oh no, wait, that'd kill him.
Alistar, wake the fuck up! Can I flick a die at Alistar's forehead?
Try to snap him out of it.
Yes.
No one's ever tried that before.
Yeah.
Starts flailing a little bit, but not.
Oh, I can feel him wiggling.
He's squirming.
Larry,
I got the cover.
I think I'm just gonna chill back here with you. How you doing? How's our friend doing?
He's unconscious, and I'm hoping a gyroscope isn't about to come try to cleave our head off through the rock.
Ah, isn't that funny?
Fuck you.
Guys, just be thankful it's the rock and not the helicopter, okay?
So Larry, yeah, that was a rock. Was this the operative term?
Oh.
Is it like head height, chest height, bottom?
Probably
like
about
kneecap
chest height is an accurate way to put it.
Good, because Larry was lying down with Ansel. Larry was figuring it was gonna do that. Just
Okay.
putting Psycho down to be low.
Why don't you roll against the universe for luck to see if it just goes right over your head? Right over your head!
Seiko looks over, sees the rock obliterate, sees Larry on the ground, crawls on her stomach.
Hold it. Run before it comes back.
So the thing about this too that's interesting is it didn't blast the rock apart. It made a gyroscope-shaped hole from one side to the other.
Punch right through.
It comes back in an arc. We gotta move. Keep an eye on it.
Okay, how do I get this helicopter to work? Elisar?
Just like this. He snaps his fingers somehow, even though he doesn't have them, and the helicopter's back.
My helicopter is suddenly there.
Oh, that's more like it.
Let's get out of here.
Initiate
Do you want?
a run.
Yeah, I think now would be a good time to initiate retreat.
Psycho hitch ride with Numb. I can get Angela up there.
Okay.
Just making sure that there's a shield right there to stop any weird curving maneuvers. He's also just going to prepare, just try to keep an eye on them as they've been flying and swinging about all over the place. I'm getting really tired of these ladder adventures. They're always really stressful.
You're telling me.
So all of the gyroscopes do start to point at you, and then they angle up.
Not so fast.
They curve.
Yes, I'm aware. I've dealt with the spin projectiles from the other Frostbitten before. I'll be ready for this one. While it's charging up, I'm also going to mentally prepare myself so that when the time comes to block these shots, I can add my patience bonus.
Okay. They charge up and they increase. You will notice one goes out like this, one goes out like this, and one goes straight.
Fun fact, when you're dealing with extra spatial dimensions, the gateways that you can open up into them can take up 3 dimensions, unlike our 2-dimensional doorways that we have in our 3-dimensional existence. I can create a whole area to block these bitches. Oh!
The arms click menacingly. It hasn't hit you. You guys are still able to stay out of initiative.
Alright, just nobody go to the fold anymore, because those are going to be in there now.
Climb.
Climb! Please, I can climb on my own now. I am of well mind.
Encore, are you good?
Seiko holds out a hand to help anyone else up.
Ansler, I'm gonna tie Ansler to like the bottom of the thing and start hauling myself up. Go, pull.
I'll help you out.
Fly.
I can only do so much. I'm running out of points.
As you're climbing back up, you're gonna hear an incredibly loud wham! The gyroscopes in the 5th, all 3 collide back with it at the same time. It doesn't seem like it was able to catch them.
I don't know, I was not expecting that to happen. What even happened?
7 damage.
Let's get out of here.
Let's move. Let's go.
All right, we're going up. Come on.
All right,
Yep.
as the helicopter
Pull up
ascends,
behind me. I'll be fine. I've got a good grip.
I'm gonna tuck us back into the fold.
Okay.
My God, that was tense. Holy shit.
Get back to base.
Oh,
and
but we
into
did it.
base before nighttime, please. And thank you.
You just hear Murphy go after like a moment of silence, just...
Okay, what the fuck?
Warden's pissed.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm still trying to put the pieces together in my mind of what happened. I had these most peculiar visions.
Yeah, if you can stop going apeshit, that'd be great.
It's not something that I can help myself. It's the blood pressure. I guess I could try taking something for it, but that's an issue for when we get back to the mainland.
Let's just...
I'm just glad that we got Ansler out of there okay.
Let's go get back to Isotilla, run that sample we got from there, and get this guy healed. Yeah.
Yes, where's the sun in the sky right now?
Setting. It's always on the horizon.
I really hope.
Yeah, but, you know.
Hey, Alisar, could you do one thing for me?
Yeah, sure, Corporal.
Could you look through this guy, see if he's got some form of fucking tracking beacon on him or something?
If you're worried, yes, I can take a look.
He's got half a coat.
Half a car?
And in that half of the coat pocket, it's a really weird looking marker that's just in his pocket. It's like huge.
Big marker?
Big marker.
Big marker.
Anything inside the marker?
Big marker.
Marker
Other
fluid.
than that,
Could be a
nothing
stamp.
peculiar. That could just be a normal big marker.
Or stand item, who knows?
How's everybody else's condition?
I got hit by one of those gyroscopes. I'm okay, but ow!
Yeah, that was.
Dislocated your shoulder again.
Yeah, that was.
Here, let me just crack that back in place for you.
I'll let you paint with that, Chris.
Last thing that I remember was climbing in this sort of centrifuge type of cage. I started spinning, I got dizzy, and then just all faded to black from there.
It doesn't matter. We got Ansler. We completed our objective, and we're heading back. And we're all alive. That's all that matters.
Oh, I should radio back to the others. Hello, is there anybody on this line right now?
Hey,
Dr. Iso?
been waiting to hear back to you guys. Hello?
Yes, mission successful. We're heading on our way back now.
Good. That's great to hear.
We have a tissue sample from the subject on the island, and we've liberated your brother.
Millie's setting up a bed for him right now. I'm assuming he's not in good condition since he hasn't been talking.
Half his coat's missing.
Other than just the coat, he seems to be fit. I just have to figure out why he's unconscious is all.
Lack of food, lack of water.
We'll get him in and try and get him to
Number
eat
of
something. I'll get a microscope set up for your sample.
Lucifer, we might have to prepare another one of those IVs you got in mind.
That
Not
can be
sure
arranged.
if he's ended up infected with anything that we're just not seeing.
Yeah,
I
that.
can run a Haman purge on him.
Don't do that. We've had enough nasty surprises.
Your brother's not a vampire as far as you know, right?
As far as I know.
Lucifer,
Yes.
No, we'll
we
wait
should
till get
also
some
make
news.
sure that there's no Haman still within his system. Or no spin still within his system before we start trying Haman stuff.
This is true. Well, I can try something real quick. Lucy's gonna take out his steel ball. I saw the thing was moving counterclockwise. That's the same kind of spin as mine. Usually when two spins of the same rotation interact with each other, they can be absorbed.
So this is, you can do this safely then. That's
Yes.
good to hear.
So Lucy is going to manifest spin in his steel ball, and is going to try to attempt to absorb anything if there's anything left inside of him.
You do so. It doesn't seem like he's got any lambent spin in him.
Alright, he's clear. Honestly, I was on the same track that you were, Elisar. I think it was something about the spin that was keeping him knocked out. We never really got a chance to actually take a look at that thing, but those convoy things, those scare me because that was the purest form of spin that shot at at both you two, points to Larry and Seiko. That will decapitate you in an instant if that touches your head. There is no blocking that.
I
at least not
understand that
in
it's
modern.
an incredibly difficult thing to recreate by, human means.
I've
It
seen
makes sense that
once.
this would be some sort of mechanism constructed to recreate those sorts of conditions.
I almost wonder if people that are killed or captured by the Frostbitten are repurposed or their skills transferred, such as teaching that thing how to use spin, or the poor soul that had to do the radio thing.
I'm gonna break the printer myself. I need to print some alcohol. Anyway.
Next time we'll come back for night 4.
Woo!
We're saved alive, guys.
You saved Ancelor! Let's go! I was really worried.
Man,
I thought you
oh,
weren't going to.
+1. +1 character.
We're going for that true ending.
Art.
We do get our
Yep.
art. We get Ancelor.
I can show you what he looks like. He's cool.
If man.
I believe we started with some other artworks that Wesley has done for me.
All right.
We got some friends.
Yeah, I love that.
Look at our cool friends.
Yo.
I love Murphy's so much.
Yeah, Murphy's came out really well.
I love these guys.
Very cool. Thank you, Wesley.
Wesley, if you're watching this, you're cool.
Wesley, good.
Wesley, you did good.
Next up, I'm gonna repost the gyroscope just so you guys can see it again.
So cool.
God, this thing is freaky and terrifying.
So cool. I love abstract sort of designs like this. It can make some really interesting monsters.
Yeah, it's cool.
I had a lot of fun with this thing. Making the separate tokens move like that was like...
It's very good,
There's
yes.
so much health.
For
And
being...
I think that might have been an S durability.
This is just like one of those like things I like in a lot of horror monster designs, is when you get a design where there aren't any... There's no landmarks for you to like really recognize as being anything. It's just sort of it, but it's still like, yeah, it gives off a very disturbing kind of feeling still.
This thing came about when I pictured it just kind of floating along. It took me a while to figure out how I wanted the cages to look. Originally, it was going to be much more of a like frozen Goliath, but then I came upon the idea of like, what if I made it like
The gyro.
just kind of floating in the air?
Yeah, just sort of
We
weird.
got this.
It made it full of meat as well.
Yeah, it's full of meat. We don't worry about that. Next up, Ancelor!
Man.
Ancelor King, my boy,
Yep.
my lad, my him.
Unk.
My god.
So the half code is just normal.
Yeah! Yeah, it's just normal.
The fuck?
I love him.
I love how the bottom is like a tic-tac-toe board.
I also like how the 3 X's on top are like the cross through, but down here at the bottom, the 3 O's, they're still connected.
Yeah, it's like thread.
He's very pretty.
He's fun.
Cool. Oh, and don't forget ambiguous.
The beginning.
Jesus. I like
I
this
really
idea.
enjoy this art. I love the fading of the skin flesh there and the lighting on the side.
So great.
Really nice.
This is literally me after I defy a cruel, godlike AI.
You have no mouth, and you must scream.
This is literally
go. Mikey got what I was referencing.
So ambiguous. That's funky.
I'm spooked that we just did a very bad thing.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I think at this point, guys, we've effectively picked a side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would argue. I argue we'd already effectively picked the side before, but now it's fair.
Yeah, but now that it's kind of hard to argue against
There's
it, we are
there's no
against
going
whatever
back.
is making the machines.
I look at the flesh on the inside that we didn't actually get a good description of because LSR was trying to get the fuck out. I don't know yet. I want to investigate that flesh before I make a decision.
Jolly good session.